Good evening and welcome to Falcon Media Sports Network pregame coverage here on Falcon Radio. Tonight we're getting ready for the Falcons to take on the Western Michigan Broncos in a men's basketball matchup. Only 3 games left of the regular season for the men's basketball team. And as we get you ready for tonight's game, we have a packed studio of Falcon Media Sports Network analysts ready to talk about the game. First off, we're joined by Falcon Media Sports Network men's basketball beat Tyler Kavelitz.
Usually in the arena, good to be here in the studio and cover the game this way. Should be an exciting one.
Yeah, Artie Brego and Foster Rostai are out over at the game tonight. We'll talk to them here in a few, but Tyler's with us in studio tonight. Also joining us is Coyle Withrow.
Yeah, usually camera in my hands, but took a night off tonight.
Yep. We also have Jacob Kopatz.
Yeah, guys, I'm excited for a great game tonight.
And Dan Ridenauer.
Thank you for having me. Should be a great one.
Yep, and coming up here in a few, we'll talk more about how the Broncos and Falcons look heading into tonight's matchup. Keep it here. You're listening to the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show on Falcon Radio.
I actually drop better when I'm high. It heightens my senses, calms me down. If anything, I'm more careful. Honestly, it just helps me focus.
That's probably what the driver who killed a 4-year-old told himself. And now he's in prison. You see, no matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network pregame coverage on Falcon Radio. Of course, tonight, the Falcons have a men's basketball game over at the Stroh Center taking on the Western Michigan Broncos. Talking about both teams right now, starting with the Falcons, coming off a loss on Friday, but it was going to be a hard game for them either way on Friday, taking on the still undefeated, Miami Redhawks. So, Tyler, you were actually at that game on Friday. How did the Falcons look on Friday, and how do you think that will affect the game tonight?
I honestly don't think it's going to have too much impact on tonight's game. That was one that you kind of had to go in and throw heavyweight punches from the start. Give yourself a chance. Got into foul trouble early. They had to go from a man zone to their 1-3-1 zone, or man defense to their 1-3-1 zone defense, which they retreat into when they get into that foul trouble, and that just is not going to work against a fantastic shooting team like Miami. So I think if anything, that loss to Miami, which you expected going into it, just puts more pressure on this team to get a win tonight against Western Michigan and win at least 2 of the final 3 to close out the season, get some decent seeding in the MAC tournament for where they are right now as the 6th seed. But I really think it just highlighted the flaw of this team, which is inconsistency. They just cannot put a full 40 minutes together right now. They've only done that a couple times this season. They just need to find some consistency. And this game against the Broncos has the potential to be that game where they can figure that out.
I think as the three games left here, I know you've mentioned it a lot. Foster's mentioned it a lot. That 1-3-1 zone is just kind of not where Coach Todd Simon needs to be with the guys. It opens a lot of the deep shots. We saw it against Miami, and we saw it a couple weeks ago at the Toledo.
It's one that can be highly effective, but you need to have the best communication you're going to have all season long, and you need to keep that up. It's a kind of defense that can throw opponents off their rhythm for a few minutes. It's more of a bandage, if anything. It's one that you want to be in for a couple minutes and get out of right away once the other team starts to figure it out, because if you stay in it, it's going to be exposed by outside shooting.
Yeah, I mean, adding on to that, I mean, you were on the call, Tyler, so you knew this as well, but I mean, you were mentioning it live on broadcast, the 1-3-1 zone coverage, because it was such a difference in that game. I mean, I believe once they switched into the zone coverage, Miami went on like an 18-4 run almost immediately, and that was pretty much the run that sealed the game. I mean, it was in the first half, but after that run happened, BG just wasn't able to get back into it. I think the closest they got was around 6-point lead, but other than that, that was it.
It's definitely tough too with kind of the season Miami of Ohio's been having. I mean, you talk about being the only undefeated team in the country, and you talk about them being a juggernaut in the MAC. When you have this opportunity where they're trying to drive a little bit more in, they're just going to keep driving out and go a little bit more to the corners, which is what that 1-3-1 kind of doesn't really look for. Is if you're able to sneak guys over to the corner, then it's just going to be easy as possible to be able to exploit it with time.
I will say, though, if there's any game where they're going to be able to use it, I wouldn't be shocked if they employ it tonight. Ball movement is really the killer for the 1-3-1 zone, because the way you beat it is you move the ball, make the zone collapse into the paint or collapse onto a guy on the block, and that opens up perimeter shooting. Western Michigan, 13 assists per game. It's 11th in the MAC. Ball movement is not their specialty. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do go into it, but I would love to see them play man zone effectively and really sharpen that, as it's, one of the final games before the tournament.
Yeah, let's move on over to the Western Michigan Broncos right now. Now, Tyler, as you were saying before, Falcons ranked 6th in the MAC right now. On the other hand, though, Western Michigan just one spot away from the last place in the MAC. They are ranked at number 12, correct? Number 12?
Yes, they are.
So, yeah, they are 9-18 overall, 3-11 in the MAC. So, not the strongest looking team, but of course this is MACtion. Anything can happen. So how are they kind of looking going into the game tonight?
Not good. They're not a good team right now. But record doesn't really matter when you're in their position at this point in the season, because they're not playing for postseason. They're playing to really upset teams, and they're playing for pride. I guess technically they could have an outside shot if they won the remaining and if everyone else lost. It's not going to happen. But you are trying to get a win over Bowling Green and be a reason that Bowling Green either gets a terrible seed in the tournament or misses the tournament. And you're also playing to get your 4th win of the conference play and your 10th win of the season, get to that double-digit mark. So there's still a lot for this team to play for. And it's also a team, they're not a pushover. They have not been playing the best as of late, but they are not a terrible team. They're 9th in the MAC in scoring. They have a punch when they're going good. So we'll see how much of a test it is for Bowling Green.
Yeah, I think at this point in the year, they're playing with house money. You're not really,
that's a good way to put it.
Like you said, they're not really fighting for a tournament spot now. It's just kind of seeing what they can do, putting out good games, getting eyes on the program, and just trying to keep plugging along almost.
Well, they're also in a position too with the Falcons. They've lost 2 in a row. So if you're Western Michigan, you would like to pick up a win here. You had a tough loss against Akron and a tough loss against Central Michigan. You lost against Akron by 17. You lost against the Chippewas by 13. Back-to-back double-digit losses doesn't sit well with any team in college basketball. So they do have a lot to play for.
Yeah, I mean, if you've played any kind of sports, once you get eliminated from postseason contention, there is an odd sort of pride that comes along with ruining the shots of another team, even if it's just making them lose a winning streak, for instance. But it really just, like they said earlier, you're playing with house money. You have nothing to lose. You might as well go out there, try your best, and if you can go out here and beat Bowling Green and ruin their chances of getting a 5th seed in the MAC tournament or a 4th seed, then that's going to be a lot of pride for this Western Michigan team, and they'll come out of here feeling great about themselves if they can do that.
Exactly, and Bowling Green right now is a team that's just is looking at it. They have a 7% chance to finish 4th, a 27% chance to finish 5th in the MAC in the standings for the MAC tournament. Western Michigan has a less than 1% chance to actually end up making the tournament. So you look at those odds and really just kind of strengthens that idea that Western Michigan's out here to kind of play as the upset team. And then you look kind of going out to the other teams Bowling Green faces. They play UMass and then they play Eastern Michigan. So guys that are on their kind of on their radar, if you will, that you're looking at right now, and you just got to realize that all these teams that you could be playing to end your season are looking to be the spoiler and just, I guess, lessen your chances of getting a higher seed in the MAC tournament.
All right, thanks, Dan and everyone. Coming up, we got to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll take a look at what's going on around the MAC this evening, and we'll also have our final thoughts as we're just about 10 minutes away now from tip-off against Western Michigan. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show on Falcon Radio.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone. which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network pregame coverage on Falcon Radio. Less than 10 minutes away now from the Falcons taking on the Western Michigan Broncos in a men's basketball matchup over at the Stroh Center. Taking a look right now at what's going on around the MAC this evening. Got one game in action right now. Miami taking on Eastern Michigan, and Miami still going strong, up 16-9 over Eastern Michigan with 10:46 left in the first. Also in action tonight with a 7 o'clock tip-off, we have Northern Illinois just north of us up in Toledo, and Buffalo is taking on Akron tonight. Both those games starting at the same 7 o'clock tip-off we have for Western Michigan at Bowling Green. All right, so for our roundtable, of course, now just a few weeks away almost from the MAC tournament. So how did the teams kind of stack up? Again, the Falcons 6th right now, but how are they kind of all looking going into the MAC tournament?
You really don't want to be stuck in this spot right now. If you're Bowling Green, you would love to get the 5 seed, because right now you get matched up against Kent State, who really has been your boogeyman over the past really 5 or so years plus for Bowling Green. They haven't beat them in 14 straight contests, so not a great track record across multiple coaches against the Golden Flashes. And if you fall anywhere below 6, then you're looking at a matchup against Akron or Miami, which is the worst case scenario. So you would love to get that 5 spot to be matched up probably against the Ohio Bobcats, which would require you really to win the final 3. You're not going to get that 5 spot unless you win out, and even then you need a little help. So I really think when looking at the scoreboard tonight, you're looking at a couple games. You're looking at that Toledo game. You would like to see a Toledo loss if you're Bowling Green. You would also like to see an Akron win over Buffalo if you're the Falcons, to knock Buffalo a little bit behind you.
I think the biggest thing, and I know I mentioned it like this week about the hockey team, is a big thing is not scoreboard watching. If you're on the floor tonight, you can't scoreboard watch. You can't be worried about what's happening around the MAC. You have to take care of business.
That's the job of us, the media, right there.
Yeah, you have to take care of business tonight, and then you can start worrying about what happened after the game. But if you don't win tonight, it's a moot point. It's
I mean, I really agree with that. That's a great point because, I mean, there's really nothing else you can do besides go out and beat Western Michigan tonight, because the bottom line is if you don't do that, nothing is going to happen good in the standings for you. I mean, if you get a win tonight and a Toledo loss, you hopefully leapfrog them in the standings. And like Tyler was talking about earlier, that'd put you against Ohio. And instead of facing Kent State, the team who you had such troubles with for a while, and yeah, you just really need a win tonight.
All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the final 6 games of the season for Bowling Green have just been so odd. The fact that you got to go from Toledo, Kent State, Miami, and then you're playing UMass, Eastern Michigan, and Western Michigan is just really odd in how you're kind of getting that schedule out there, if you will. But right now, if you take care of business against Western Michigan, that's really going to be your forefront, if you will, to kind of take this going forward. But also realize, too, that kind of the drop from the last 3 games that you've had, you just got to get this one going and continue on.
All right, thanks. All right, that's going to wrap things up for our Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show here on Falcon Radio. We'll be back with you guys coming up for the halftime show. Time now to send things on out over to Artie and Foster over at the Stroh Center, as we're just a few minutes away from tip-off against the Western Michigan Broncos. Hey, Artie and Foster, how's it going out there?
Pretty good here at the Stroh Center. Some fans are filing in. The band is, of course, some fans wearing the black T-shirts that were handed out to them before entering the arena. It is trying to be a blackout tonight here in the Stroh Center. we'll see if they can succeed with that. My name is Artie Brago. I'm joined by Foster Rostide here on the call, waiting for the Bowling Green Falcons to take on the Western Michigan Broncos. Now, both these teams are coming off back-to-back losses. Something's got to give here. One of these teams is walking out with the win, Foster.
You're absolutely right. And the way the season has gone so far for both these teams, you look at Bowling Green's home record, 9-6 at home. That's a great sign for the Falcons. And for Western Michigan, 2-12 on the road this season. You look at kind of those quick things as, all right, Bowling Green knows how to protect home court. They've done it all season long. They've had some tough opponents come here. Kent State, Akron, Miami, all tough opponents, fought them hard at home but ended up losing. But you have protected home court against the teams you're supposed to beat. Toledo at home. You'll have another big test coming up in the Stroh Center against UMass the next game on Saturday. But that game, that home record that the Falcons have been able to protect home court, that's a big thing for the team so far.
And, you're going into the final 3-game stretch of the season, as you just mentioned, as the pregame show mentioned as well. You're going up against Western today, then UMass, and then, of course, you have Eastern Michigan. So a little bit of an easier stretch for the Falcons as opposed to their last 3-game stretch, which was Toledo to Kent State to the currently and still undefeated Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, those types of stretches are very hard. You get the win over Toledo. You play Kent State very hard in a slow kind of just a match where there's a lot of fouls and no real rhythm to the game. And then you go to Millett Hall, where we went to, and you just have to deal with the number 21 now ranked Redhawks, who have shown all season why they're one of the best teams in the nation and have great atmosphere in Millett Hall. So you have to beat the teams ahead of you. That's all you can focus on for the rest of the season.
Starters now being introduced for both sides. So firstly, with Western Michigan coming out now for the Broncos is Trey Lewis, a guard, a redshirt junior guard. E.J. Ryans, a sophomore guard. Max Burden, a redshirt junior forward. Justice Williams, a redshirt senior guard, and Jaden Brewer, a senior guard. So a very guard-heavy lineup that the Broncos are going with tonight, Foster.
Absolutely, and some of those guards, a little bit lengthier of guards, you can call them combo guards, kind of fit the forward guard fill, but having a lot of guards, having a lot of ball handling, being able to have those differences on the court can always make a difference for any team.
So lights have dimmed now as the Falcons get ready to introduce their starters, and it's not really a surprise to see who's in the lineup here tonight for BG, Foster. It's the same lineup the Falcons have run for these past couple of games, these past few games, and it is Javonte Campbell, Josiah Shackford, Justin Thomas, Troy Glover II, and Sam Towns. So no surprises there for Todd Simon.
Absolutely, a solid lineup that they've liked to run. You've seen kind of some switches out before, putting Glover on the bench for a couple games, going small, putting Myra Wall in the lineup. But this lineup has played very well together. They've been able to roll very well as a good, just a starting lineup where you have a lot of different pieces. Troy Glover, a great piece down in the paint, second in the MAC and block shots so far this season. Javonte Campbell leading the nation in steals with 90, one away from breaking the Bowling Green single-season record set by him last season with 91 if he gets that one steal today. And so you have a lot of different pieces, especially on the defensive end. Justin Thomas is a great defender. Shackelford has come along well this season as a defender. Sam Towns, a veteran force on this lineup. Everything kind of is there for a great team to play together.
And, they mentioned the important part there. One steal is all it takes for Javonte Campbell to break his own single-season record with less than 3 games left to go. One steal, he has 90 currently. He had 90 steals last season. Just one more to break the Bowling Green record. His own record, I should say. So it would be a great weekend for breaking steals records, or a great week, I should say, for breaking steals records. Janae Donahue broke the steals record for BGSU women's basketball for single steals in a season with 104, I should say, when she got 6 in a game against Toledo. So it would be one great weekend for those two BGSU guards. I know there's a big debate right now in Falcon Media about which one is a better defender. Of course, we'll leave that up to debate still, but Falcons getting ready to check onto the court now, still going through the player introductions. But it feels like this stretch of the season, it's a tale of two different teams, which they mentioned on the pregame show. One team is fighting to kind of stay in that MAC tournament contention level. Falcons kind of floating around that 5th and 6th seed, while the Western Michigan season is all but over after they made the MAC tournament in the last season, but now this season it's all but over.
Yeah, and sometimes that's the thing you have to deal with as coaches in the MAC. There's a lot of turnover. We know, Bowling Green's got plenty of new faces on the team, 10 plus new transfers and freshmen incoming to this team. And the same happens around the MAC. There's only a couple teams that get to keep all their players because they are, your Kent State, Akrons, and Miamis get to keep their players. They've got such a great environment there that most players do not transfer out. They stay those 4 years. So you have to figure out how you're Western Michigan, how you're Bowling Green, how to keep a year-to-year basis that you're going to be one of the top teams and compete every year.
And so they are rotating the siren, I believe it's called, an alarm. I don't know what the actual term is. I believe it's siren, but that means the game is about to start for BG. So Troy Glover II, he will be the man in the middle going against, of course, the 6'10" Max Burden. He'll be the largest player on the court for Western Michigan by quite a wide margin. I mean, 6'6" guard and 2 6'6" guards in Jaden Brewer and Trey Lewis also on the court for the Broncos. So there's a lineup with a lot of height despite being guards. So maybe head coach Dwayne Stevens might be comfortable with running a guard-heavy lineup, but having some height out there.
Well, and I think you're going to see a lot more of larger guards, 6'6" guards. The way that basketball is kind of evolving, it's kind of becoming a positionless sport where your bigs can also handle the ball, run the pick and roll well. So you start seeing these 6'6" guards, and the players who have played point guard their entire life are starting to become forwards, and they're still having those point guard abilities.
So the ball will be taken to the middle, ready for tip-off. Bowling Green will start with winning the tip-off. Troy Glover tips it right to Javante Campbell, the aforementioned Campbell. Remember, 1 steal is all it takes for him to break his own record. But right now, the Falcons are on offense, shooting towards the student section to begin things. Campbell fakes the pass, finds Justin Thomas. Thomas, he's going to slow things down to dribble, pass it to Shackelford. Shackelford gets a screen from Glover. Shackelford dribbles in, finds Sam Towns beyond the arc. Towns shoots the 3 to start the game. He sinks it. Sam Towns from 3 starts the game 3-0 for the Falcons.
Well, that's a great sign for the Falcons, getting an early 3 for Sam Towns, get him into a rhythm, and started this early.
Justice Williams, he's got the ball now to start things off. Pass to Burden at the top of the arc. Burden sets the screen, hands it out back to Williams. Williams takes the mid-range jumper in front of the bench. He sinks it. So 3-2 start right now for both teams.
And a tough shot there over Javante Campbell, who was stuck with him the entire time.
Campbell still searching for that steal in the opening minute of this game. Campbell gets the screen from Glover. He dribbles inside, pass out to Towns on the right corner. Towns passes to Shackelford. He fakes the 3, finds Towns again. Towns is going to take another 3, and he sinks the other one. So 2 for 2 from 3. Towns starts things hot. It's a 6-2 game for BG.
And Towns has been an up-and-down shooter most of the season. We've seen the games where he can really knock it down, Kansas State being one of the biggest games this season. When he finds a rhythm from 3, it makes this offense really good.
So foul whistle called here on the court near where Max Burden and Josiah Shackelford were. It looks like they got caught up in each other near the free throw line. And the foul will be on Josiah Shackelford, so that'll be his first personal foul, and the first personal foul called for either team.
And Shackelford has kind of gotten into foul troubles these last couple of games, being taken out early because of early fouls. So he's being a very aggressive defender, but you got to see the aggressiveness without the fouls.
Justice Williams with the ball with 14 seconds of shot clock. He goes for the tough contested layup against Troy Glover, and he sinks it off the glass.
High off the glass at that. Anytime you're shooting over a 6'10" big, you got to go high, and he went right off the top of the glass there.
Campbell, he's got the basketball now at the top of the arc. Campbell dribbling around, pass to Josiah Shackelford. Shackelford dribbling inside, fakes the shot, finds Campbell. Dwayne Stevens wants to travel, and so did his bench. Justin Thomas, he's dribbling. Finds Campbell at the top of the arc again. Bounce pass inside to Troy Glover. He slams it down. Two-handed slam by Troy Glover the second. 8-4 game for BG.
And that's a great steal by Glover, but an even better pass by Campbell down where only he can grab it, so it leads him into the dunk.
Justice Williams, he's got the ball guarded by Josiah Shackelford. Justice Williams, he'll take the deep 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Javante Campbell. Campbell bringing up the court, finds Shackelford. Shackelford's going to take the 3 off the backboard. No good. That one did not even hit the rim. Driving up the basket now is number 12, Jaden Brewer, but rebounded by Sam Towns. Couldn't get that one to fall off the glass that time. Thomas fakes the 3 at the top of the arc. He's driving inside, goes up for a floater, it looked like. No good, rebounded by Brewer. Brewer taking up the court, past the corner to E.J. Ryans, and he sinks the 3.
That's some of that fast break offense that this Western Michigan team is going to run a bit. They're going to get out, they're going to run, and really force Bowling Green to get back on defense.
That makes it an 8-7 ball game now. Towns bounce pass to Troy Glover. Glover guarded by Max Burden. Glover goes up for the floater, contested by Burden, and he hits it off the glass. So Burden, a pretty big matchup there in the paint we're going to see tonight. Burden versus Glover. Glover wins the first one. Justice Williams got the ball guarded by Shackelford. Gets a screen. Pass all the way over to Trey Lewis. Trey Lewis trying to drive inside, takes the shot from mid-range. Off and in. So Ryans, he sinks it off the backboard. So a 10-9 game now. Both teams kind of going back and forth here. Not uncommon we've seen the Falcons do with teams in the past. These are the opening battle minutes of the first half. Campbell's got the ball, finds Towns in the corner for another three off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Brewer. Brewer taking up the court now. He'll be guarded by Shackelford. Brewer trying to dribble inside, being very patient near that mid-range marker. Passes out to Justice Williams. Williams is going to be guarded by Sam Towns. Finds E.J. Ryans in the corner for three, and he sinks it right in front of the Bowling Green bench. So a 10-12 game now, and the Western Michigan, they've got their first lead of the day.
What just great offense from both teams. Western Michigan 5 for 7 from the field. Bowling Green 4 for 7. Both of them having great starts.
And Josiah Shackelford just slips there, and I believe so did Trey Lewis. So both players kind of slipped to the ground there, and the foul is going to be called on Jaden Brewer there. So it will be a personal foul, and that'll be the first Western Michigan foul of the game as we head into our first media timeout. It's a 12-10 game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
BG Women's Swim participates in the MAC Championships in Akron, Ohio from Wednesday, February 25th through Saturday, February 28th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dan Ridenauer will have a recap of the full event on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletic news and updates.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Falcon basketball coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network, live on Falcon Radio.
Welcome back here to the Stroh Center. The band is, of course, playing now right as we are exiting now our first media timeout of the game. 12-10. Western Michigan got their first lead of the day off a three by E.J. Ryans. But before he went to the break, Josiah Shackelford was fouled while trying to drive to the basket. He kind of both players went down. It was kind of a slipping motion, so it almost looked like both players slipped, but they did call it a foul. There was some contact there on the backside. So it'll be interesting to see. It looks like BG, since it wasn't in shooting motion, is going to get the inbound here.
And Bowling Green, great start offensively. Western Michigan just having one more made shot, and that one shot right now is the difference, giving them a 12-10 lead. Bowling Green's going to have to figure out how to slow down this Western Michigan offense.
Bowling Green shooting 57.1% from the field, but impressively, the Western Michigan is shooting 71.4, I should say, themselves. Campbell will inbound with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Checking in the game now for the Falcons is Javon Ruffin, Aiden Goins, and Meyer Wall. Ruffin, he's got the ball, dribbling around. Finds Campbell near the three-point line. Campbell will drive inside, loses the basketball. Stolen away by the Broncos. Poked out is Sam Towns. Campbell got a hand on it, but they're going to call it out of bounds. So I don't believe that's going to count as a steal for the Falcons.
No, they won't. Since it was poked out of bounds, no recovery or possession by Campbell. They won't give him a steal for that, but he will get a turnover on the defensive end.
So E.J. Ryans, he'll get credited for that last steal. Right now with the basketball, Declan Peterson. He's got the ball, hands it off to one of his teammates. Going to the ball is Carson Viss, but he gets rejected at the rim. Rebounded again by the Broncos. Driving inside right now is Justice Williams, but the ball is knocked out of bounds again. So 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Justice Williams was going up against Javon Ruffin. And they're going to call a foul on Javon Ruffin, actually. There was a lot of contact there.
Yep, so as he went down, he kind of wrapped his arms around, getting a foul called, and he'll send them to the line.
So that will send Williams to the line for the first time today. First shot from the line is good. Williams this season about an 85.4% shooter from the charity stripe. Played in playing in only his 15th game of the season. He only started playing on January 30th. Missed if not pretty much actually all, since the MAC schedule started earlier this year, all of the non-conference schedule. Campbell, he's got the basketball now, finds Meyer Wall over the three-point line. Meyer Wall passes inside to Aiden Goins, guarded by Peterson. Goins backing up against Peterson, looking underneath the rim, goes up for the layup, and he sinks it. Aiden Goins gets things within 2 for the Falcons, 14-12.
And we know Goins can be a very big spark plug off the bench, fast score for this Falcons offense.
Justice Williams guarded by Javon Ruffin, trying to dribble near the free throw line now. Going to take the shot from the free throw line off the rim. Bounces around multiple players, eventually recovered by Ruffin. Ruffin finds Sam Towns on the fast break. He finds Campbell over the three-point line. Campbell off the rim, no good on that three-point shot. Rebounded by Jaden Brewer. Brewer trying to drive inside, owns multiple Falcons, almost rebounded by Carson Viss. Viss going up for the putback, and there's a whistle called as he went to do that.
It looks like they're going to give a foul to Javante Campbell as Viss going up for that offensive board, and they're going to give him continuation as a putback attempt.
So Viss will head to the line. So this will, once again, the Broncos will get a trip to the line. Viss, not the strongest three-point shooter, shoots about 57.8%. Rolls around the rim, no good. Viss, second shot coming up. Viss waiting for second shot rolls around and no good. An unlucky roll for Carson Viss. EJ Broncos get the offensive rebound, so they still have possession with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. EJ Ryan's got the ball, pass to Justin Williams from 3 and hits it right in front of Javon Ruffin. So that's 17-12 now. A great shot by Williams to put the Broncos up by 5.
And second chance opportunities really getting the Western Michigan Broncos this lead.
Javante Campbell, he finds Aiden Goins. Goins going up against Peterson. Goins looks like he may have taken a step. A whistle called here. They're going to call a blocking foul on Peterson. So Sam Towns will check out. Makai Leach is going to check in, the freshman guard. Leach, he's seen a little bit less playing time over these past couple of games. Still a working player, still trying to find his place in the lineup. Campbell with the inbound to Goins. Again, guarded by Peterson. Goins in the paint, going against Peterson, goes up for another layup, and he sinks it. Nothing but net for Aiden Goins, and he's got things within 3 now, 17-14. BG down by 3. Justice Williams again, guarded by Javon Ruffin. Justice Williams trying to dribble inside near the MAC look, loses the ball for a second, but recovers it, and passes out to Sherrod Barnes. Barnes guarded by Makai Leach. A freshman versus freshman matchup, and a whistle called here, and that's going to be a turnover for the Falcons.
They're going to have a moving screen as just didn't get set Peterson, and that's great for the Falcons. They can get themselves tie the game with a 3 or get it within 1 with the layup here.
So Peterson is going to have to check out as that was his second personal foul, so he's going to have to go out of things early here. Javante Campbell, he's got the basketball near the logo. Pass to Javon Ruffin. Ruffin finds Goins inside, guarded by Max Burton. Goins is going to take a 3 from the corner, and he sinks it in. Aiden Goins and Foster, he was sinking threes all shoot around. We saw he was hitting threes off 1 foot and went 4 from 5 doing that. So feeling himself for 3 today.
And as we can see here, Troy Glover, who was getting ready to sub in, gets back up and heads to the bench. Aiden Goins having a great start to this game. Don't want to take that high hand out.
He's got 7 points. That's a team lead. Justice Williams going to take a 3 from the top of the arc, around the rim, no good. Meyer Wall gets the rebound, taking things up the court now. Wall finds Javon Ruffin. Ruffin passes it back to Wall. Wall calling Makai Leach over. Looks like they're trying to run a player. Ruffin and Wall are just passing it back and forth. Neither of them seems to want the ball. Wall's got the ball with 30 seconds shot clock. Driving in past Max Burton. An underhanded layup off the contact and in. 19-17. The Falcons have regained the lead with 12:11 left to play in the first half.
I think in those passes back and forth, they wanted to get it down to Goins, but with Makai Leach in that same corner, there was another defender there making it real hard for him.
Hand off to Viss. Viss going up against Javante Campbell. Can't get the layup to go. Ball bounces out of bounds. And that will lead us to another media timeout. So the Falcons with a 19-17 lead with 12 minutes left to play. Aiden Goins on fire as we head to break, and don't go anywhere on Falcon Radio.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Falcon men's basketball coverage live on Falcon Radio. For Falcons, by Falcons.
Welcome back here to the Stroh Center, and right now, Aiden Goins is on fire. He's got 7 points early, 3 for 3, and 1 3 to go, and 1 block as well. He's been credited with a block on the stat sheet as well off that. I believe that was the Viss driving to the rim. He must have gotten a hand on it, so that'll count as a block for him. And Goins, like you mentioned earlier, they look like they're going to sub in Troy Glover II, and then Todd Simon called him back because Goins was having such a spark plug for the team in this second half, or first half, I should say.
Well, we've seen Goins be this spark plug before, especially against Toledo at home in the Stroh when he was going right at Austin Parks and Owinga. He's had these games where you get him on one of those smaller mismatches, especially as a big. He takes advantage of it very well as a back down center, and once he gets that going, then there's fouls, and they can really get the offense rolling off that.
So lineup up here, a rare BG lineup, Foster, without Javante Campbell. It's Meyerwall, Justin Thomas, Troy Glover II, Javon Ruffin, and Makai Leach. Very rare we don't see Campbell play. I mean, he usually plays near to all 40 minutes.
Normally, yes, but a little bit of a bigger lineup with Makai Leach being a 6'2" guard.
Makai Leach takes a shot from mid-range, a couple of bounces around the rim, but no good. Rebounded by Brewer. He hands the ball off to E.J. Lewis. Lewis is going to be guarded by Justin Thomas here. Dribbling right now near the logo is Lewis. Thomas with some tough defense. Lewis going up the rim, fights his way through the BG defense and gets the layup to fall.
A great amount of screens there. Not only screens on the ball handler, but back screens to get the defenders not able to get through, opening up the lanes.
Almost looked like he was bouncing around. He's like a ping pong ball in a ping pong machine. Where it's E.J. Lewis. So just Thomas pass to Javon Ruffin. He thinks about taking the three, goes inside instead. Whistle called here. And the play will stop. Makai Leach was about to attempt a three. We'll wait to see what the call is on.
They're going to give it to Junior Salou. Down low, battling against Troy Glover. He got it. He was up grabbing onto him, holding on, kind of moved him back.
Junior Salou in only his 7th appearance this season. Averages about 1 point per game, 0.8 rebounds. So Meyerwall will inbound with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Wall finds Justin Thomas. Thomas pass inside to Wall. Wall goes up for the layup. No good. Rebounded by Lewis. Trey Lewis finds Brewer, who passes to E.J. Ryans. Ryans hand up to Junior Salou. Ryans hands it off back again to Lewis. And Meyerwall went with the wrong assignment, and Lewis launches the three, but it's no good off the back of the rim. Thomas gets the rebound, and another foul is going to be called here on Junior Salou.
2 quick fouls for Salou, but the Falcons get away with a very lucky one. Ruffin and Wool both leave their assigned shooter, Trey Lewis, getting a wide open shot. Fortunately for the Falcons, he misses it, but can't have those type of mistakes.
So Foster Peterson and now Salou have both picked up 2 personal fouls. That's 2 of the bigger players on this team for Western Michigan. Peterson 6'11", Salou 6'10". Broncos, of course, average about 36 rebounds per game, one of the top 5 rebounding teams in the conference. Front to Campbell. He finds Sam Towns from beyond the arc. Towns going to launch another three, and he sinks it. Sam Towns, or is that Steph Curry? He's on fire from 3 right now.
It's absolutely great to see him going from behind the arc. When you have him able to stretch the court, it opens up a lot of things, especially for Campbell driving.
So it's a 22-19 game now, and another whistle is called here. I believe they're going to get that on a Falcon.
I believe they're going to give it to Sam Towns.
They will. The aforementioned Towns, that'll be his first personal foul of the day. About 9 personal fouls in this game called so far. Of course, we're nowhere near Kent State numbers yet, but there have been a few whistles. Pass to E.J. Ryans off the inbound. Ryans going against Campbell. Shoots from the free throw line, and he sinks it. E.J. Ryans having a great game so far. Hasn't missed yet. 10 points, 4 for 4 from the field.
And Bowling Green's got to find a way to slow him down. Can't let him continue this hot start.
22-21 game right now. Falcons up by 1. Mekhi Leach passes to Sam Towns from beyond the arc. Towns dribbles around, finds Josiah Shackelford, who passes it back to Leach. Leach driving to the middle, finds Shackelford. Shackelford going to take a 3. Rolls around the rim and good. Almost bounced out, but it bounces back in. 25-21 game. Falcons up by 4.
Well, you're allowed to use all the rim, and he used it all in that shot. Rolling all the way around, sitting on the back of the rim, and then falling in.
Sherrod Barnes has the basketball now, driving up the rim, going against Glover and Towns. A whistle called. And Sherrod Barnes took a nasty bump, but he gets up okay. Thought he was grabbing his head there for a second, but looks to be all right. And they're going to give that to a Falcon.
It looks like they're going to give it to Troy Glover down low.
Quite a bit of contact on that layup. But once again, the Broncos will hit the line. So far, all free throws today have been attempted by Western Michigan. The Falcons haven't had a trip to the charity stripe yet with 9:27 left to play. Barnes is going to sink the first one. Sherrod Barnes, a freshman from Ypsilanti, Michigan. I made that mistake last year in Eastern Michigan. I made it just now. But he shoots about 83.3% from the free throw line. A 3-star recruit by 24/7 Sports. Barnes shot, rolls out, and rebounded by Josiah Shackelford. Shackelford, who'll take it up the court now, finds Javante Campbell on the logo. Campbell guarded closely by E.J. Ryans. It's a matchup. Ryans has gotten the better of Campbell, actually, and so far has found a way around him quite a few times. Campbell dribbling inside, loses the basketball, goes up for the layup, and he sinks it. So Campbell, he may not have a steal just yet, but he's got points on the scoreboard now with 2, and a 27-22 game for the Falcons.
And for Campbell, you like to see him always have a big game, but right now he's been more of a facilitator for the Falcons.
Ryans will take the shot from the free-throw line, and he sinks it. So again, he has not missed, and he's got 12 points now, 27-24.
Bowling Green's going to have to look for a way, throw some doubles his way to slow him down offensively, because you let a player of this magnitude continue such a hot start, it can really come back to be a problem later in the game.
Leach bounces off the contact, finds Towns, passes to Shackelford. Shackelford driving up through the contact, whistle called here. As Shackelford was driving up the middle. Foul will be on Western Michigan, so as I mentioned earlier, the Falcons will head to the free throw line for the first time today, and that will be on Sherrod Barnes.
Shackelford getting to the line is a big thing for the Falcons. A 75% free throw shooter this season. Has had his struggles at times, but is one of the better free throw shooters for the team.
And no announcer's curse there on that first one as he sinks it. Takes a couple of bounces off the rim, but it falls in. So a 28-24 game now. In the game now for the Falcons are Sam Towns, Troy Glover II, Josiah Shackelford at the line, Mekhi Leach, and Javante Campbell. It's like Sam Towns having a conversation with the referee here. I think that referee was telling Sam Towns to retuck his jersey. It was out a little, but Shackelford sinks the second one from the line, so a 29-24 game now. Pretty high-scoring first half between both these teams.
Absolutely, especially with Bowling Green with one of the top defenses in the league. Seeing them give up 24 points is a lot for the Falcons.
Justice Williams guarded by Javante Campbell now. He swings it out to E.J. Ryans. Ryans trying to drive up the middle. Takes a stop and lets Troy Glover fly by him, but misses the layup. So that's his first miss of the day, and it's rebounded by Sam Towns.
Great use of the pump fake there, getting the shot blocker to really bite on that and get him fly by.
Shackelford takes the 3, no good. Rebounded by Troy Glover. Glover goes up for the layup. It goes up, misses it, but he's fouled. So he'll head to the line as we head into another media timeout with 7:53 left. It's a 29-24 game. Don't go anywhere here on Falcon Radio.
This is Phil Beskid, BGSU Radio Faculty Advisor. You can catch all the Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts on our two stations, WBGU 88.1 FM and Falcon Radio, which can both be found on bgfalconmedia.com. Ziggy.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Check out bgfalconmedia.com for previews, recaps, photos, videos, and more of the Falcons.
Welcome back here to the Stroh Center. Artie Brago joined by Foster Rostai in the middle of our third media timeout here at the Stroh. A 29-24 game, and both teams just kind of going back and forth, but the Falcons have remained with the upper hand for most of the first half. Shooting right now 61% from the field, Foster.
And they've done a lot of, just a great job of getting down low into the paint, utilizing screens to find open players, having Aiden Goins coming off the bench just as a mismatch and work down low and knock down that singular three. Also 5 for 9 from behind the three-point arc, shooting 55.6 from three, a spot they've struggled with all season long.
Yeah, they've had a pretty fast-paced offense right now. Falcons, again, just going back and forth. Sam Towns, the leader right now with 9 points and shooting 3 for 4 from three. Aiden Goins follows him with 7. Glover's added 4, Campbell with 2, and Meyer Wall with 2. As for the Broncos, most of the scoring has come for, 2 men from the Broncos. E.J. Ryans with 12 points and Justice Williams with 9. Most of the scoring has come from them today, Foster.
Yeah, and they've had, especially Ryans, he's had great success getting down low into the paint. They're utilizing screens, and then as the Falcons drop coverage, they're getting a back screen onto Glover, or whoever the big is, and he's getting open lanes on those secondary screens.
So before we went into our media timeout, Troy Glover was fouled going up for a layup. So that was what we called on Michael Sulaka, the redshirt sophomore, 6'9" forward from Michigan.
And a lot of fouls on the big. We kind of touched on it a little bit for Western Michigan. A lot of their bigs having 1 to 2 fouls here. Should be something to look at down the line, especially.
And Foster, when you're already running a pretty guard-heavy starting lineup, how does that affect the game plan for head coach Dwayne Stevens moving forward?
Well, they can do a couple different things. They can go to a very small lineup with a forward that they like as a center and really run a 5-out. They've had some very good success getting down in the paint, drawing all those players in, the full and green defenders in, and kicking it out to shooters. Or they can continue to rotate bigs in and just try to be careful, and that's probably something they'll go away from and probably go to that small ball lineup.
Glover will head to the charity stripe. He's about a 50% shooter from the line, but starts out at 100% in his first shot from the line. Gets that to 30 points for BG tonight, so a 6-point game, 30-24 for the Falcons. Glover will take the second shot now. Second shot from the line is off the back of the rim, no good, rebounded by Trey Lewis. Lewis finds Justice Williams, who's guarded by Mekhi Leach. Pass back to Lewis, who passes it back to Williams. Williams again guarded by Leach. A lot of minutes tonight for Mekhi Leach so far. Justice Williams, which is man to Troy Glover, takes the shot from the MAC logo and sinks it from mid-range, and he's got 11 points now. So it's 30-26, BG up only by 4 now. Campbell, he's got the basketball, guarded by Brewer. Campbell pass to Shackelford.
And Western Michigan in their own version of a 1-3-1 zone here.
Campbell finds Shackelford. Shackelford driving up. No good off the shot. A fight for the ball and a whistle called, and that'll be Western Michigan ball.
Yeah, they're going to get Glover on an over-the-back call. A little bit too aggressive, going for that rebound, and that'll be his second personal foul.
So it looks like Glover will check out. Aiden Goins is going to check back in. Inbound from Lewis to Williams. Williams will take it up the court, guarded by Mekhi Leach near the top of the arc. Going to get a screen here from Sulaka. Finds E.J. Ryans off the pass. Rolls around the rim. No good. Rebound. A fight for the rebound, and it's going to be called Falcons ball. Bounced off multiple players there, but it's going to be called ball for the orange and brown.
And Western Michigan has run this kind of similar starting Ryans down in the paint, looping him up, either having him set a screen or fake a screen, and getting another screener to get the ball open on a cutter. So Bowling Green's got to be ready for that if they're going to continue to run it.
Devontae Campbell. Pass to Sam Towns. Pass to Mikhailic. Pass to Josiah Shackford. Pass back to Sam Towns. He's going to take things slow here. Pass back to Shackford. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Shackford going to take a deep three off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Justice Williams. Williams passes to Brewer. Brewer loses control of the ball for a second. Going to have a wide open path to the rim here as he escapes his defender and sinks it in off the glass. So 30-28. Both teams still just going back and forth as we wind on the first half with 6:15 left to play. Campbell bounce pass Shackelford. Brewer gets a hand on it, and he gets the ball, and he's going to go up for the slam over Shackelford. And Campbell, just a bad pass from Devontae Campbell, leads to a Brewer steal and a Brewer dunk.
And we'll get a 30-second timeout taken by Todd Simon. This 1-3-1 zone that Western Michigan has thrown in has really thrown a wrench in the Falcons' offensive game plan, slowing them down, not really being able to find that first pass that they're looking for.
So a 30-30 game now. This fast-paced offense that head coach Dwayne Steffens is running right now is working out dividends right now for the Broncos. They've kept in this game against the Falcons defense. They played very well in the fast break. They've scored. What have you seen from them today, Foster, that's really helped them in this on defense and offense?
Well, you've talked about that fast pace of play. Bowling Green plays best when their defense is set. As they're able to get out and run, Western Michigan's taking advantage of not having set players for Bowling Green, and they're allowed to get out and just run. And then for on their defense, on this Western Michigan defense, they're just communicating that 1-3-1 zone. They're able to follow their man. The passes for Bowling Green aren't there that they want to, and they're keeping those arms up, which makes those passing lanes very hard to pass through.
So the Falcons are the Broncos, I should say, are on a 6-0 run right now. BG's been scoreless for about almost 2 minutes now. A 30-30 game with 5:55 left to play. Campbell's going to slow things down. He finds Meyer Wall right in front of the Broncos bench. Pass to Towns, who passes to Goins, goes up for the layup, but no good. Try to go over the back of his head. Goins tries to poke the ball out over Justice Williams. Wins the ball, going to take a shot from the free throw line, and he sinks it. Automatic from that mid-range jumper is Justice Williams right now. A 32-30 game, and Western Michigan has regained the lead now.
And an uncharacteristic miss by Goins down in the paint, something you expect him to make almost every time.
It's his first miss of the day. Campbell going up the middle, trying to go up for the layup, and he's fouled coming down. So that'll send Campbell to the line.
And with the way Bowling Green's offense is rolling right now, you'd like to see him really start to press the issue, get the Falcons back in, start to collapse that defense in on him as he drives the paint and kick it out to those shooters.
So that's another foul, and it's going to be on Michael Sulanka for the Broncos. So another foul, another second personal foul of the day for Sulanka. So another 2 personal fouls, another big man for the Broncos. Campbell, first shot from the line is no good, rolls out. On the court now for the Falcons, Sam Towns, Meyer Wall, Devontae Campbell, Aiden Goins, and Josiah Shackford. Campbell's second attempt from the line is good. So 1 for 2 trip the line for Devontae Campbell. It's a 32-31 game. Falcons down by 1. Justin Thomas will check in for Josiah Shackford. And Thomas will be guarding Justice Williams to start off this possession. Pass to Ryans. Pass inside to Max Burden, guarded by Aiden Goins. Goins gets a hand on the ball, but a whistle called. Looks like they're going to say Goins got the wrist of Burden when he was going up for that shot.
And what a great display on how to break a 1-3-1 zone there by Western Michigan. Quick, precise passes while the defense is still reacting to that first one. The second one is already made, and they get it down into the paint.
And it feels like the same story we've talked about all season, especially late this season. The Falcons can just not figure out this 1-3-1 zone. So first shot from the line from Burden is good. 33-31 game now. Broncos up by 2. Looking to avenge that 65 loss. They took the Bowling Green in their own arena earlier this season. 34-31 now as Burden makes the second one. Campbell passes Sam Towns, who passes to Meyer Wall. Pass back to Towns, pass back to Wall, who hands it off to Thomas, who hands it off to Campbell. Campbell trying to drive up, and there's a whistle called here, and that's going to be a Falcons turnover and Broncos ball.
And they're going to get Aiden Goins, moving screen there, not set, trying to keep that offense kind of in that three-man weave position. And he's continuously moving and trying to get that player out of the way.
So that's going to take Goins out of the game now as he picks up his second personal, and that's going to force Camden Carroll to come into the game now, the freshman forward. Pass to Brewer, who hands off to Justice Williams, who's guarded by Justin Thomas. Williams got the ball, taking things slow. No look pass to Brewer in the corner. Pass back to Lewis, who passed back to Williams, guarded closely by Thomas. Campbell looking to get his steal, still looking to break that record. Guarded by Camden Carroll, going for Brewer. Rebounded by Sam Towns for the Falcons. Handoff now to Javante Campbell. Sam Towns thought about taking the three, but decides to pass to Meyer Wall instead. Hands it off to Javante Campbell, and Campbell will slow things down near the logo. About 4:12 left on the clock. 16 seconds now on the shot clock. Campbell telling Meyer Wall to get out as Wall comes near him. Campbell trying to drive. Will take the shot from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Brewer. Maybe a little too quick of a decision making there from poked out by Justin Thomas. Ball recovered by the Broncos though. Campbell, he gets the steal, and he's broken the record. 91 steals in a season for Javante Campbell. Intercepts the pass and takes it for the layup. So another record set by Javante Campbell, and he breaks his own record now here, Foster. Vernon goes up for the layup, and he sinks it, so not to let the Falcons celebrate too much. That's the 36-33 game still.
And Western Michigan just doing a great job of passing so far this game. Finding the open man, not taking anything that they don't want, finding a quick, easy pass.
Campbell, still probably hasn't even realized that he's broken the record yet, as he's still pretty locked in on the game. Three there from Justin Thomas, no, and a foul called here. So Justin Thomas, he attempted the three, no good. A whistle called here on Western Michigan, I believe. Based on the reactions from the bench, I would assume it would be Western Michigan.
It looks like they're going to give it to E.J. Ryans there, fouling Sam Towns on the rebound attempt.
So our live stats say Justice Williams. So we'll wait to see who it's on. But that is going to lead to a timeout here. It's a 36-33 game. I believe they're going to turn this into a media timeout. Not exactly clear yet. But regardless, we'll take the break here on Falcon Radio.
Put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D, that means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Check out live updates on X at BG_FMSN.
Welcome back here to Falcon Radio. Artie Abrego joined by Foster Rossai. A 36-33 game here. Broncos up by 3 points against the Falcons. But the big news right now here at the Stroh Center is Javante Campbell. He has broken the single season steal for steals in a season again. He set the record last season with 90, and he set the record this season with 91. For steals in a season.
It's so incredible to watch. Just a defensive player with his mindset, with his instincts to jump those lanes, to really get those steals. And 90 in a season is something that is very hard to do.
And now he's got 91, which one could argue is even harder. And this is a season he's got two working hands. Of course, he had one broken hand for most of the season last season. He had two to end the season. So Sam Towns will be the one shooting. It was a 1-and-1. He misses it, and the ball falls out of bounds as Meyerwald tried to grab it, so that'll be Broncos ball. So 3:12 left here to play in the first half. So it looks a bit of discussion going on here. But Broncos will inbound now. Falcons going with a tiny bit of a full court press. Ruffin and Campbell sort of playing up against them as they got things started. Justice Williams. Pass to Carson Viss. Viss pass back to Williams. Williams guarded by Javante Campbell, trying to drive up, pass Campbell. Pass inside to Brewer. Brewer comes against Cannon Carroll. Rebounded by Javon Ruffin after that layup missed. Ruffin bringing up the court, finds Sam Towns, finds Campbell in the corner, going up against Viss. Campbell looking around, swings it out to Campbell, who swings it to Ruffin. Ruffin thought about taking the three, going to drive up the middle, rejected by Brewer as it heads out of bounds.
And good idea there. Faked the pass, started driving down the lane, slowed up just a little bit, let that defender behind him catch up and reject the shot.
18 seconds left on their shot clock. Falcons will retain possession of the basketball. Brewer will check out. Trey Lewis will check in for the Broncos. So Campbell will inbound. Campbell looking. Not much movement here. Pass to Meyer-Wall, who goes up for the layup. He goes up for it, misses it, but he's fouled.
And that's a type of offensive set that they really like to run on baseline out of bounds. Just a lob up to a taller player, let them go up, get the ball, and go right back up with it.
Bit of an awkward catch by Meyer-Wall. Almost looked like an NFL receiver trying to catch it off his shoulder, sort of, when he went up for that ball. So, but Wall will head to the line now. Wall goes off the back of the rim, so first one is no good. And the Falcons shooting about 50% from the charity stripe, and we've seen some pretty low numbers this season from the line from the Falcons this season, Foster.
Yeah, and it's been one of those things where they're called free throws for a reason. They're supposed to be free points as he misses both free throw attempts.
Well, I guess that one had a subscription price there as they both bounce out, so 36-33 it remains. Pass in the corner to Trey Lewis. Trey Lewis will take the three in front of the bench. No good. Rosanen rebounded by Camden Carroll, and he hands it off to Sam Towns. Both teams been without a bucket for quite a while now. Both teams scores for nearly 2 minutes each. Javante Campbell, he's got the ball near the logo, gets a screen from Camden Carroll. Campbell trying to drive inside, pass Max Burden, no good. Rebounded by Carson Viss as the ball bounces out. Justice Williams, he's got the ball now. Guarded by Campbell, near the logo, and standing near Todd Simon as he passes the Viss, who's guarded by Javon Ruffin. Hand off to Trey Lewis, who passes it to Justice Williams, who's going to take a three off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Trey Lewis. Meyer-Wall comes in to break it up, and the ball heads out of bounds.
And there's that 1-3-1 zone kind of break that we've talked about all game and beforehand as well. Passing around the perimeter, getting the overload one side, and then having an open three-point shot.
So inbounding now will be Trey Lewis, right in front of directly in front of the BG bench. Passes to E.J. Ryans. About 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Minute 39 left in the game. Viss has the ball, hands off to Trey Lewis at the top of the arc. Lewis passes to Justice Williams. Pass in the corner to Carson Viss. Viss will take the three from the corner, and he sinks it right in front of the BG bench. 39-33 game. Broncos up by 6 points, and they snap their scoreless streak.
Yeah, that's a great play, like we talked about, finding an open shooter by swinging the ball around the perimeter.
Campbell finds Javon Ruffin in the corner. Ruffin passes it back to Campbell. Campbell dribbling up inside, finds Meyer-Wall. Meyer-Wall going to take the three, and he sinks it. Meyer-Wall snaps the Falcons' scoreless streak with a three of his own. 39-36 with a minute remaining. Falcons down by 3. Justice, a bunch of passes here from the Broncos, just passing out and out near the top of the arc. E.J. Ryans, he's got the ball now. Trey Lewis going to take a deep three off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Sam Towns. About 38 seconds left on the clock, 28 seconds on the shot clock. Sam Towns, unguarded shot from the top of the arc, off the back of the rim, no good. Shot clock still on, 27 seconds on the clock, 26 seconds on the shot clock. So essentially, the Broncos can really just wind it down when there's no difference in the shot clock and game clock, essentially.
And that's absolutely what they're going to do. They're going to want that last shot.
Trey Lewis going to take an early shot. Went for the floater from mid-range. No good. Meyerwall, he's got the ball. Pass to the corner. Javon Ruffin. Ruffin faked the three when he might have had a look from the corner. And one could argue he should have taken that, Foster.
Yeah, that's one of those shots where it's kind of in the rhythm of that fast break. You should get one of those and take that three-point shot. He's going to the line now for 2 free throws, where he is a very good free throw shooter. So it's something that you'd like to see him take those 3-point shots, but with him being an 82.2% free throw shooter, it's something that you're all right with him getting to the line.
And Ruffin, sinks the first one from the line. So that'd be a 39-37 game now. So if the Broncos want to get a shot off, they'll have about 5.3 seconds left in this one to make it happen. Shooting 6 for 13 from 4 for 11 from 3 of the Broncos. So it looks like they'll have to take a pretty deep shot here. Shot is good off the second shot from the line. So a 39-38 game right now. We'll wait to see if that's the score we go into at half. Falcons employing a bit of a full court press. Meyerwall slips and falls as heading up the middle. 2 Falcons fall as Sherrod Barnes gets a layup to fall, and it'll head into half 41-38. We'll wait to see if they count it on the board. They will. So a 41-38 game here at the Stroh Center as we head into half. We'll send it out to Nate Hinders in the Cooling Center studio with the rest of the Falcon Media Sports Network here on Falcon Radio.
Hey, this is Nicholas Winholtz, executive producer of The Swoop. Make sure to tune into The Swoop, BG Falcon Media's live sports talk show, produced by BG24, every Thursday at 4:15 p.m., live streamed on the BG24 YouTube channel, and is always available afterwards at bgfalconmedia.com. Your home for all BGSU athletics, news, and updates.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Welcome into the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show, or not pregame show, halftime show. Here at the half, the Falcons are down to the Western Michigan Broncos by 1 point, 39-38. Dan, what happened in that first period, or first half?
First half, yeah. I think just part of it's almost a mental breakdown for the Orange and Brown right now. I mean, we kind of talked about a little bit going into the pregame show and everything with that is kind of what was going on for Bowling Green, how these last 3 games were chances for their opponents to play spoiler, and right now we're seeing that. I mean, Sam Towns is only shooting 50% from the field goal. Javonte Campbell's only shooting 40%. This just seems to be kind of a mental breakdown for the Orange and Brown, as well as their 1-3-1 not working as well as they had intended.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, Dan, I mean, with Bowling Green, they're getting a decent amount of scoring from many players on their team, but I think what's kind of killing them right now is that they don't have anyone in the double-digit points already, where Western Michigan already has 2 players, while they're also getting some scoring from other players on the team. Given it's only like 2-4 points from the other players, having those 2 players with double-digit points in the first half, that's really helping them so far.
And real quick, just got to make a quick correction. Broncos are leading the Falcons 41-38. I said 39-38 before. It is 41-38 with the Western Michigan Broncos ahead of the Falcons. And we're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll talk more about this first half of play. We'll also talk more about how this could affect things in the second half. Coming up next on Falcon Radio.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs. It's probably the best thing you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network halftime show here on Falcon Radio. Here at the half, the Western Michigan Broncos leading the Falcons 41-38 from over at the Stroh Center, and really not the game we thought it would be coming in. Bowling Green, a much higher ranked team, 7-8 in the MAC versus the Broncos 3-11. I mean, record-wise is a big difference. But of course, as I said in the pregame show, it is MACtion. Anything can happen, and certainly seeing that tonight.
I think the biggest thing for the Falcons tonight was the Western's 1-3-1 zone sped them up to the point where it kind of took the defense out of it almost. 1 steal, 3 blocks as a team. It's kind of a very stark contrast to what we have seen for the rest of the year, especially from Javonte Campbell.
Yeah, and Bowling Green's also had a pretty solidified recipe for success this year, and it's been keep Troy Glover II out of foul trouble in the first half. When they're able to keep him out of foul trouble, they're able to operate their offense and their defense the way they like. When he gets into foul trouble and he's not on the court, this team really suffers. He is a huge piece that does a ton of things that don't show up in the box score. Only played 9 minutes in the first half. That's less than half of the first half due to 2 personal fouls. And because of that, you look, Western Michigan is out-rebounding Bowling Green by 2 boards. They have 1 more offensive rebound. They're leading in points in the paint by 8. And they're leading in second chance points by 7. 22-14 in points in the paint, 8-1 in second chance points. Bowling Green's just getting out physicaled. The 1-3-1 zone is big, but the Falcons are just getting beat up by the Broncos right now. The Broncos are the more physical team. They've established dominance in the paint right now. Bowling Green needs to find a way to get back into the paint, get to the line a little more. I mean, they have 11 free throws. You'd like to see that number above 20-25 by the end of the game. They are shooting well from 3, but they need to figure out a way to dominate the boards against this Western Michigan team because right now that's what's happening to them.
Yeah, all right, coming up, we will talk more about how tonight's game kind of affects the MAC tournament. Of course, that's coming up here in a few weeks, so we'll talk more about that. If they lose tonight, that could actually have some decent implications, right? Yeah, we'll talk more about that coming up. We'll also take a look at what's coming up around Falcon Athletics this week. Our first Falcon Media Sports Network baseball broadcast coming up tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. Have our Player of the Game watch discussion as we get you ready for the second half of play here on Falcon Radio.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Falcon Media Sports Network pregame coverage. In case you're just tuning in, here at the half, did I say pregame coverage? This is second time I've done that. Halftime coverage. The Falcons are losing to the Western Michigan Broncos, 41-38 here at the half. As we talk more about the game, let's talk about a few of the players we're watching for our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game that we will of course name in the postgame show.
I'll throw one out for Western Michigan, E.J. Ryans. He's averaging just over 7 points a game this season. He's already got 12 in the first half. He's a guy that I think if you're Bowling Green, you didn't really have an eye on him coming into this game, but he's been a huge offensive piece for Western Michigan. And then for Bowling Green, I'm only going to say Campbell because he broke his record. He got the 91st steal. Give him some recognition for that. Now holds the first and second most single-season steals in program history. So have to give Javante Campbell his flowers for that.
I think staying on that for the Western Michigan side, Justice Williams shooting 100% from the line, 13 points thus far. I mean, he's been, again, a guy that we thought you'd have to neutralize coming into this, but it's still kind of not doing an all that great job of containing him thus far.
For me, I'm going to go on the Western Michigan side again, but I'm going to go with Jaden Brewer. He has 2 assists this game, 6 rebounds so far. I'd say he's one of those main people on the Western Michigan team that is providing the physicality that has really been a deciding factor against the Bowling Green in the first half today.
With Western Michigan, I'm going to have to agree with Coyle and go with Justice Williams here. I mean, 5 for 9 on the field goal. He's got 3 rebounds so far today and his 13 points. I mean, has been just the leading factor so far going. And then I'm looking on the Bowling Green side. Obviously, got to give Javante Campbell his flowers, but someone that I'm interested to see and just kind of how he's going to be playing, Troy Glover II. I think he only's got 5 points right now, and he only has 1 rebound. But I think looking into his second half, if he's able to stay out of foul trouble, it could be a very strong half for him.
All right, thanks, guys. Getting a look now at what's going on around the MAC. Starting off with the game that has started earlier than us, but they are in the second right now. 11:06 left in the second. Miami having a big lead over Eastern Michigan, 56-39. Now, a few other games that started at 7 o'clock and are also at halftime. We have Central Michigan leading Kent State, 42-32. Toledo leading Northern Illinois, 36-31. And Akron leading Buffalo, 39-35. So, got some competitive action going on tonight. Of course, our game right now, 41-38, but you also have that Akron-Buffalo game, 39-35. And Toledo, 36-31.
Yeah, and I really think out of all the results right now, this Bowling Green game is the one that has the highest implications out of the seeding for the MAC tournament. Because if Bowling Green is not able to come out this win at all, but guarantees they won't be able to get that 5 seed, it probably pushes them into territory for the 7 seed if Buffalo is able to come with a comeback win. Because Buffalo does have that tiebreaker over Bowling Green. So that Buffalo and Bowling Green game, those are the 2 to keep an eye on. I think the results for those 2 games could really shake up the standings tonight.
I think the biggest thing is, I mean, like we said earlier, it's very, very imperative that you just go out in the second half and win the basketball game. Nothing else matters outside of that. And but you can't keep looking at the scoreboard, keep worrying about what Buffalo's doing or what Kent's doing, or or the rest of the MAC. When if you don't win, it's a moot point as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually gonna disagree with Tyler a little bit. I mean, because I agree with saying the Buffalo game's important, same with the BG game, but I'm also looking at that Toledo game. I mean, they're 1 spot above you. They are your rivals. Maybe that gives you a little bit extra motivation. Come out harder in the second half, maybe get away from this Western Michigan team, get a more convincing win. And, I mean, Toledo, they're up by 5 right now. They're going into the second half now. Don't know what that's going to look like. But if you want to keep moving up in these MAC standings, you're going to need to beat Western Michigan tonight. But it's Toledo, biggest rival. That gives you a little extra pride. You want to get above them and get just a better seeding in the MAC tournament.
It does go without saying the rivalry between Bowling Green and UT that they have, and just kind of everything with that. But I mean, the Rockets right now with the 45% chance to finish fourth in the MAC standings, if you will. Bowling Green right now is just their highest chance. Like, the most odds they have is a 28% to finish in sixth place. So you look at that, and it goes without saying too, just how impactful these last three games are. Obviously, no game in the Mid-American Conference is just going to be handed to you, but when you look at all those outliers, you look at the three difficult ones you've had first, you've got to take care of business tonight, and then the rest will go moving forward.
All right, let's take one more break right now, then we'll send things on out to the Stro for more action here on Falcon Radio.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Starting to wrap things up for our Falcon Media Sports Network halftime coverage here on Falcon Radio. Again, Broncos leading the Falcons 41-38, and some men's basketball action going on at the Stro. Before we hand it back on out to Artie and Foster out there, should mention coming up tomorrow, we have a busy day of Falcon athletics here on Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we kick off our baseball broadcast coverage for the season from down in Cincinnati. First pitch coming up at 3 o'clock tomorrow again, taking on UC. And then tomorrow evening we have women's basketball as the Falcons are down in Athens to take on the Bobcats. Tip-off for that coming up at 7 o'clock. And you can listen to women's basketball over on WBGU 88.1 FM. All right, now let's get back, though, to our men's basketball game going on right now. Time to send things on back out to Artie and Foster out at the Stro. How's it going out there?
Well, it is about 12 seconds now left on the clock. I was trying to time it up just right, but now 10 seconds left. So 10 seconds left for the last 20 minutes left of this matchup. Falcons down by 3. 41-38 game right now. Broncos up by 3. As they mentioned on the halftime show hosted by Nate Hinders, Falcons are just getting out-physicaled right now. A 19-17 rebound battle. Broncos winning that by 2. The Broncos are finding ways around that 1-3-1 zone we talked about. Sam Towns once referred to it as an Achilles heel in a post-game press conference. Artie Brago joined by Foster Rostai. And Foster, I'm sure you can echo a lot of the same sentiments and complaints that they made on the halftime show as we were off the air.
Yeah, they've seemed sluggish at times, not going full speed at all times. And one of the big things that this Western Michigan team has done has just taken what the defense is giving them and allowing them, when Bowling Green allows them into the paint, they're just taking the mid-range jumpers.
Justice Williams with the ball now. Broncos are now attacking towards the student section for Bowling Green. Williams will take a three from the top of the arc, guarded by Sam Towns, off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Troy Glover the second. Glover just hands it off to Josiah Shackelford. Shackelford passes to Thomas, who just gives it right to Javante Campbell. Campbell over right. E.J. Ryan's having a major game for the Broncos with 13 points. 12 points, I should say. Campbell driving up the up to the basket. No good. Rebounded by Ryans. Pass up to Brewer. Brewer driving towards the basket off the bottom of the rim, I almost want to say. No good. Pass up to Campbell. Campbell driving inside for the layup. He sinks it. Underhanded layup by Javante Campbell. A 41-40 game now. Falcons only down by 1.
And that's what the Falcons like to do. They like to get out and run. They like to use that defense, turn offense, and get that ball up the court before any other defenders get back.
7 points now for Javante Campbell. He's got 7 points and the single steals in a season record. Williams pass the corner to Brewer. Brewer will take a three. No good off the rim. Campbell pass up to Justin Thomas. Thomas goes up for the layup. He sinks it and it falls off the glass. 42-41. Falcons come out swinging this half with 4 straight points, and now we're up by 1.
And that's, like we just talked about it, defense to offense. Missed shot, Campbell gets the rebound, and he runs it down the court, finding the open man, leading them to the basket.
Well, there's that energy that you wanted, Foster. Trey Lewis thinks about taking the three against Troy Glover. A bit of a mismatch here. Switches the man to Campbell. Lewis gets a shot off from mid-range, off the back of the rim. No good, rebounded by Javante Campbell. Campbell bringing it to the court now, finds Josiah Shackelford. Shackelford thinks about taking a deep three, decides against it. Pass to Justin Thomas. Thomas near the MAC logo. Hands it off to Troy Glover going against Max Burden. Off the backboard. No good. Rebounded by Burden.
A little bit too strong on that layup attempt by Glover over the big man, but a great shot nonetheless.
Justice Williams has the ball top of the arc. Finds Trey Lewis. Pass inside to Burden. Whistle called here. Looks like they're going to get it on Shackelford.
And the Falcons are into this switch everything type of man-to-man defense. We saw it a little bit in Oxford when they played the Red Hawks, and it really took advantage. And Glover got taken advantage of the most by Peter Suter or one of the other guards that Miami would trot out there in mid-range shots.
So that'll be a foul. It'll be Josiah Shackelford's second personal foul. EJ Ryans with the shot, no good. So a bit of a cold stretch here for the Broncos to begin this half, and now shooting 2 for 20, scoreless now for 2 for 24. Campbell trying to drive inside. A whistle called here. Looks like there's going to be a foul on Western Michigan, and Falcons are going to inbound.
And they will give that one to EJ Ryans, and that's going to be his third of the game.
So that's major now. This is a major decision coming for Dwayne Steffens.
And they're going to get him out of the game right now. So they'll bring Barnes into the game for him.
Dwayne Steffens, he looks like he will take EJ Ryans out of the game. So coming in now is Sherrod Barnes. Campbell trying to pass inside to Shackelford, but a miscommunication, and he just throws the ball out of bounds. It looks like he thought Shackelford was going to be in a different position, but Shackelford was trying to battle more inside, and Campbell just throws the ball out of bounds.
And Todd's over there looking for a foul call because Shackelford had a lot of hands on him, but no call there.
Trey Lewis with the basketball, guarded by Troy Glover II. Swing pass out to Justice Williams. Justice Williams driving up with the floater off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Justin Thomas. Thomas pass up to Dronte Campbell. Campbell driving up for the rebound. Stolen away while he was going up for the layup by Sherrod Barnes. Trey Lewis driving up and in. And Lewis gets that one to fall. So 43-42 now. Broncos back up by 1.
And that's just one of those things where they play a little too fast for their own good. Campbell, while going up, kind of loses the ball midair, and it just gets picked out of the air.
16:41 left to play. Campbell gets the ball in the corner. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Pass up to Shackelford. Shackelford trying to drive inside, takes the contact. Has to stop. 8 seconds on the shot clock now. Shackelford trying to go up for a layup, but a whistle called before then. We'll wait to see who it's issued to. It's going to be on Justice Williams. So that'll be his first personal foul. So Carson Viss will check in for Trey Lewis as the Falcons will inbound. Shot clock resets to 20. Whistle called here again. Western Michigan foul will be on Carson Viss, who just checked into the game, and he picks up his second already before the ball was even inbounded. So another inbound is coming up here. Campbell finds Shackelford, thinks about taking the three. Shackelford driving up, takes the mid-range jumper, and he's nothing but net for Shackelford. 44-43 now. Falcons up by 1.
The Falcons are going to have to start stringing together some offensive possessions and getting stops on the defensive end. They've struggled to get stops defensively, letting Western Michigan continue to stay in this game.
They're going to call a blocking foul here on Javonte Campbell. That'll be his second personal foul. A lot of whistles here to open up the second half of play. Already had 5 personal fouls called for both teams total. Inbound here to trying to get it out to Sulaka, but Troy Glover II gets a hand on it and it bounces out of bounds. So we will repeat the inbound, but from the sideline, right from the scorer's table.
And Glover is just a great defender of those inbounds lobs to the big man. He's got such long arms, he's able to tip it away and get it normally on a steal and a dunk for himself.
Brewer finds Williams on the pass. He throws out to Sherrod Barnes. Barnes guarded by Glover as he drives up, and a whistle called as he was sort of falling down, and a whistle is called here. I believe that's going to be on Troy Glover.
No, they're going to give it to Shackelford, and they're calling it a tripping foul on him.
So Shackelford again is going to find himself in foul trouble. Actually, they're saying, yep, it'll be on Josiah Shackelford with his third personal. So another game where Josiah Shackelford is really up there in personal fouls. He was up there against Miami, Ohio. He fouled out against Kent State. He's had a couple of games where he just had heard the whistle called at him a ton of times. But a media timeout here, our first media timeout of the second half. It's a 44-43 game. Don't go anywhere here on Falcon Radio.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to more Falcon men's basketball coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Welcome back here to the Stroh Center. Artie Abreu joined by Foster Rosai, and of course we're the commentators. We're kind of stealing the spotlight here, but a lot of Falcon Media Sports Network content is going on right now here at the Stroh. We have Andrew Helikowski to my left here today writing the recap of the game. That will be available on bgfalconmedia.com. We have Kevin Hutchinson writing a sidebar on today's game, so that'll be a little bit of a side story, more important event that happened here at the Stroh. I'm sure we already know what he'll write about based on the record that was broken here today. Javante Campbell getting his 91st steal of the season. We have Carter Leonard doing our social media Twitter, for X, I should say, not Twitter, doing our X updates for us on the BG_FMSN account on X. And we have Jeffrey Smith making a highlight video that will be available on BG Falcon Media's YouTube channel, so make sure to go over and subscribe to that. That'll be available there. And it will also be available on our Instagram, BG Falcon Media Instagram, after the game as well. So, Broncos will inbound, having a very cold start to the second half. Only scored 2 points, shooting 1 for 7 from the field. Have just completely stalemated so far as the Falcons have really upped the pace against the Broncos. Inbound to Sudova. Handoff to Williams. Williams, a mismatch against Troy Glover. Williams driving up the, blocked by Campbell as he went up for the layup. Campbell gets a hand on that ball. Campbell passes Thomas, passes Sam Towns, going to take another 3 from the top of the arc. No good, rebounded by Brewer. Williams with the basketball now. Pass to Sherrod Barnes. Barnes looking. Barnes gets the ball back now, guarded by Troy Glover. Barnes takes the shot from the free throw line, and it's in. Barnes takes the shot from just around the free throw line range, and it's a 45-44 game now. Broncos back up by 1.
And the Broncos living in that mid-range jumper area. That's just what the Falcons are giving them, and they're taking it.
Makai Leach passes inside to Sam Towns. He goes for the floater off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Carson Viss. Viss hands it off to Brewer, who hands it back off to Williams. So, apologies, that was Sherrod Barnes. Barnes on the logo now. Pass to Carson Viss. Pass back to Barnes. Barnes being the primary ball handler right now for the Broncos. Pass to Viss. 8 seconds left on the shot clock as Viss is driving up the rim to the rim, and he sinks it off the back of the rim and in. So 47-44 now. Broncos up by 3, and there's a scramble over the ball. Multiple players hit the deck. Whistle called. We'll wait to see. There was a lot of contact there, Foster. Wait to see which team that's assigned to.
It looks like they're going to give a blocking foul to number 24 on
Michael Sulaka.
Sulaka, yeah. As he hit the deck and caused a little bit of a pile up there, they're going to give a foul on him. Hope he's all right. He looked like he hit his head as he went down and caused a couple other players to trip over him.
Yeah, near head coach Stevens still grabbing his head, kind of. Picked up his 3rd personal, so we probably won't see him a bit for the rest of this second half, as he's pretty up there in fouls. Campbell with the inbound to Makai Leach. Leach goes against Lewis, goes for the floater, no good. Off the rim, rebounded by the Broncos. Barnes hands off to Brewer. Passes it back to Barnes. Barnes being guarded closely by Campbell. Bounce pass to Burden. Man switch here. Just Thomas now guarding. Carson Biss going to take a deep three, and he sinks it right in front of the face of Javante Campbell. A 50-44 game now, and on a 6-point run are the Broncos. Makai Leach, he's got the basketball now, was trying to just bounce it in to Troy Glover. Broncos keep it in, so they're going to go on the fast break. E.J. Ryan's pass up to Brewer. Barnes, I should say, goes up for the layup. No good, but he's fouled.
And the Western Michigan Broncos are getting out, running, and keeping the Falcons off on that back heel, not able to really get their footing on the defensive end. This switch everything defense that the Falcons are throwing out there has been taken advantage of by Western Michigan.
Barnes will head to the line on a 7-0 run right now and a 9-2 run over the past 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Barnes' shot from the line is good. So a 51-44 game now. Broncos up by 7. And it seems the Falcons have once again hit their stalemate as the Broncos have just gotten back into it after that media timeout.
And the Falcons seem to have one of these every game where they've hit a lull. They don't really know how to get that offense rolling back the right direction, and the other team just takes full advantage of it.
So an 8-point lead now for Western Michigan, 52-44. Justin Thomas, he's got the basketball now, guarded by Brewer. Thomas looking, finds Makai Leach. Leach takes a shot from the free throw line, no good. Rebounded by E.J. Ryans. And Leach 0 for 3 now on his shots, still trying to find his sort of presence in the shooting area. And E.J. Ryans loses the ball, and he mistakenly goes and picks it up from beyond the line, and that'll be a backcourt violation.
Well, a chance for the Falcons here to capitalize on a mistake Western Michigan made. They'll have their set offense here. They can get, a play that they like here as Myra Wool subs in for Troy Glover.
So on the court now for the Falcons, it's Sam Towns, Justin Thomas with the basketball, Myra Wall, Javon Ruffin, and Makai Leach. No Javante Campbell out there right now for the Orange and Brown. Wall, he has the basketball now, guarded by Viss. Wall trying to make some moves, make Viss miss. Wall goes up with a one-handed floater, no good, rebounded by Brewer. Falcons is having a lot of trouble here today playing through contact on these layups. Sherrod Barnes, he has the basketball, guarded by Ruffin. Barnes going to take the shot from the free throw line. No good, off the rim, rebounded by Sam Towns, and a whistle called here. Looks like they're going to get it on Max Burden.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those, fighting for a second chance opportunity, but it's only Burton's first foul of the game, so the coaches can let him continue to play out there.
Wall pass to Justin Thomas. Thomas taking up the court now. 2 points here today for Thomas as he hands it off to Makai Leach. Leach trying to bring it up inside. Pass out to Sam Towns. Thinks about taking the three, decides against it. Finds Meyer Wall from beyond the arc. Wall at top of the arc now. Pass back to Leach as he resets the offense with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Towns trying to go up for a shot, but he's fouled. Fouled before the act of shooting, it looked like. We'll wait to see if he does head to the line. Foul will be on Sherrod Barnes, and that'll be a second personal foul.
That's the 6th personal foul on Western Michigan, sending Towns to the line now for a one-on-one opportunity.
They will be in the bonus now for Bowling Green.
They are going to say he's actually in the motion of shooting on that one instead.
Towns' shot from the line is no good. The first one just goes off the front of the rim. Towns started off pretty hot from three, has cooled down since then. Still the leading scorer today with 9 points. He also has 7 rebounds, so a bit of a double-double watch there for Sam Towns. Towns sinks one of his two from his trip to line, so a 52-45 game now. BG only down by 7. Barnes with the basketball, guarded closely by Justin Thomas. Barnes pass to Brewer. Whistle called here. Looks like.
Oh, they're gonna have a blood timeout here.
They are gonna have a blood timeout. Looks like Sam Towns is bleeding from his nose. So they will pause the game for the blood timeout, and that will lead us to a media timeout. So 52-45, 11:55 left to play. Don't go anywhere here on Falcon Radio. We'll be back with more action.
BG Women's Swim participates in the MAC Championships in Akron, Ohio from Wednesday, February 25th through Saturday, February 28th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Dan Ridenauer will have a recap of the full event on bgfalconmedia.com, your home for all BGSU athletic news and updates.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are tuned into Falcon Media Sports Network basketball coverage on Falcon Radio.
Welcome back here to Falcon Radio. A 52-45 game. BG down by 7, and they've really hit quite a cold stretch in this game right now, Foster.
Yeah, they've not been able to figure out where the offense is going to come from. They've gotten down low, missed contested layups, trying to go up and over the players, not being able to hit from behind the arc, 0 for 1 from 3. 3 for 10 from the field in this second half. Bowling Green's just their inability to find offense in other places in this game specifically has really been holding them back.
And I mean, this is we talked about it earlier in the game, but this was really the 3-game stretch they wanted to end the season right now. It was Western Michigan tonight, UMass on Saturday, and Eastern Michigan on March 6th. So those are all teams they beat previously this season as they wind down towards the MAC tournament. And that's really the matchups you wanted heading into Cleveland, so you can secure a spot at either the 5th or 6th place for the Falcons. But that looks to be a little bit in jeopardy right now for the Orange and Brown.
Well, when you're playing down the stretch basketball, you have to be putting your best foot forward at all time. And right now the Falcons are not doing that. They're coming out slow. Their offense is not looking like what it should be. And their defense especially has plenty of gaps that Western Michigan has just been taking advantage of all night long.
So on the court now for the Falcons, Javante Campbell, Meyer Wall, Troy Glover II, Justin Thomas, and Javon Ruffin. Troy Glover intercepts the pass up to Meyer Wall. Wall loses the basketball almost, but recovers it. But that'll kill the fast break for the Falcons.
And that's one of those things right there. We talked about their offense just not flowing. A kind of a low pass from Glover, unable to get that fast break opportunity.
Javante Campbell driving up inside, trying to go past Burden. Ball goes out of bounds. It's like there's not going to be a foul called here, but the Falcons will get the inbound with 10 seconds left in the shot clock.
And Western Michigan has just done such a good job of neutralizing Campbell today, throwing kind of a drop double team coverage at him, not allowing him to throw the alley-oop pass, not allowing him to find an open layup.
Ruffin with the ball with 4 seconds left in the shot clock. Campbell's just going to have to take a wild one, but he draws the foul against E.J. Ryans.
And if you're Bowling Green, that's a bit of a bailout right there. Ryans stepped back. Campbell kind of goes into him during that three-point shot, and that's going to be Ryans' 4th foul, and that could mean a lot for down the line.
That's major. Ryans with 12 points on the game, shooting 5 for 8 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. It's got a major implications moving forward, and head coach Dwayne Stevens still arguing his case with the referee. He's trying to argue that there was really nothing Ryans could do there because Campbell just kind of, maybe from his perspective, he just kind of jumped right into him to draw the foul. There's a bit of a discussion going on here. Head coach Todd Simon was...
They're reviewing?
I believe they're going to review this.
What are they reviewing?
I'm not sure.
Are they reviewing to see if it? They couldn't see if it was a shooting foul. They can't review foul attempts. And even if they could, why would Bowling Green want a foul taken away from E.J. Ryans?
So we'll wait to see what exactly it is. We have our own theories, of course. We're not really sure. It could have been something that happened after the play, possibly, but we're not 100% sure.
Yeah.
So it looks like discussion will break pretty quickly. They only took a few seconds at that monitor, so it looks like we're going to get our answer soon as they're just having their final discussion.
I'm very interested to see what gets said.
So I think they were reviewing where he shot the ball from.
So it was a line thing.
So it was
if there
a line.
Was a 3
they were
or
looking
a
at the
2.
line. So the referee, one of the referees who just approached the ESPN announce table, just signaled a 3. So it looks like Campbell is going to get 3 attempts from the free throw line.
Oh, that's what they were challenging. Instead of a 2, it was a 3-point shot. So Bowling Green will keep their challenge for down the line here. And Campbell will be at the line for 3.
Campbell misses the first one from the line. He'll have 2 more attempts. Campbell makes the second one, so he gets it to a 52-46 game. Falcons down by 6. And that one rolls out and in, so a 1-3 trip for the line for Javante Campbell. It remains a 6-point game.
Lid is still on the basket for the Falcons today, just unable to find any type of offensive rhythm.
Trey Lewis driving up for the layup. A whistle called here. I think they're going to get that on Meyer Wall.
Meyer out of position a little bit there. As he jumps for that pass, the offensive player just is able to run right by him.
So that'll be Bowling Green's 5th foul. Western Michigan 1 away from the bonus for the next BG foul. Sam Towns is going to check in here. Sam Towns will check in after Meyer Wall picked up his first personal. Justice Williams has got the basketball. Trey Lewis takes the 3. A whistle called here before that.
I believe they're going to get it down low on Thomas, who's guarding Burton. It looks like that's what they're going to give it to.
It will be on Justin Thomas, so they will get him on exactly what you said, Foster. So it will be another inbound for Western Michigan with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Brewer inbound. Out to Justice Williams, trying to go up for the layup. No good, off the floater. Trying to rebound it, it was Troy Glover, but couldn't get a hand on it, and it falls out of bounds. So it will remain Western Michigan ball with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
And the lucky thing for the Falcons is that ball did not touch the rim, so that shot clock does not reset for Western Michigan.
It did not even graze the net, I do not believe. So 14 seconds on the shot clock, 10:54 left on the game clock. Burden looking to hand it off to somebody. Finds Carson Viss. Viss thinking about taking a 3. He's going to drive up instead. Viss going to his Troy Glover, misses the rim. Rebounded by the Falcons. Campbell on the fast break. Justin Thomas with a poor pass, intercepted by Justice Williams. Viss takes about taking the 3. Lets Ruffin fly by him. Goes up for the layup. Fouled by Justin Thomas and head to the line.
And this is the exact thing that Bowling Green likes to do to opponents most of the time. Force them into bad passes, get those bad passes picked off, and then get an easy, plus opportunity on the other end and get fouled and head to the line. Western Michigan taking that page out of Bowling Green's playbook and just doing that to them today.
And just an uncharacteristically poor pass by Justin Thomas. Not what you want to see out of him.
No, that felt like one of those passes where they kind of feel the pressure, 10:35 left to go. They want to start building their way back in, but they're making some bad passes doing it.
Viss, first shot from the line is good. Second one is also good. So Viss up to 10 points now. He also has hit double digits. A 54-46 game now. Broncos up by 8 points. Javante Campbell Pivots, looking, finds Sam Towns. Guarded by Trey Lewis. Towns pass out to Javante Campbell. Campbell fakes the three, drives inside, passes up to Troy Glover the second for a massive one-handed slam, standing near the basket.
And that can kind of bring back some energy for the Falcons. Now they got to get some stops on defense, though.
54-48 is the score. BG down by 6 once again. Justice Williams with the basketball, guarded by Troy Glover. Williams trying to step up against Glover. Ball rolls around the rim, no good, rebounded by Shackelford. Shackelford pass up to Troy Glover with another slam. Troy Glover just abusing that rim with a 54-50 game now. Falcons only down by 4 as the Stroh Center gets loud.
And that was a great pass by Shackelford, threading the needle down the court to a Glover who's just running down the court. And you had two Falcons running to the corners, pulling those two defenders that were on that fast break to the corners with them, opening up everything for Glover.
So 54-50 is the score. 9:47 left on the clock as Western Michigan had to use a timeout, and that will lead us to another media timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to more Falcon men's basketball action, live on Falcon Radio.
Welcome back here to Falcon Radio. My name is Audrey Baker, joined by Foster Rosta as Troy Glover II has got things almost back even for the Falcons. A 54-50 game now after two massive slams by Troy Glover, who's got 9 points now, assisted by Josiah Shackelford on that last one. As the Falcons are sort of building their way back up after they went down heading into the second half. They regained the lead in the second, but now they're trying to regain the lead again in the second.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job of finding the man down low. We've kind of talked about it before. They seem to go away from the paint at times, and not from the paint as in they're driving in. They're not driving in, finding, the big men down low. Goins, who had 7 points in the first half. Glover, who's had very good games before, and even Towns down low. They just seem to go away from it. And as they kind of find their way back into it, they can really get easy points like this.
BG on a bit of a 4-point swing right now. 9:47 left to play. Falcons need every win they can as they head towards Cleveland. Obviously just important for momentum in general. Last season the Falcons scraped by into the MAC tournament with a 14-18 record. Went up against pretty injured against the number 1 seeded and eventual MAC champions, the Akron Zips, and were absolutely dominated in that game. So Falcons going with a full court press here as we open up after the timeout. Trey Lewis will begin things with the pass as he finds Justice Williams again with a full court press. The Falcons looking to get a turnover, swarming underneath low for Trey Lewis as he finds Carson Viss. Josiah Shackelford stops Viss on the fast break. Ball to Trey Lewis, 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Campbell guarding Williams. Williams gets the man switch to Glover. Williams alone on the arc, but passes to Trey Lewis, who takes the three. A perfect arc on that ball as it sinks through the net, 57-50. Broncos up by 7.
And some miscommunication there on the defensive end by the Falcons, leaving a shooter wide open and allowing Western Michigan just to get some rhythm back in the game.
Whistle called here.
And they're going to get Trey Lewis, who just knocked down the three.
First personal foul here for Lewis, and that will send, I think that's going to be Javon Ruffin headed to the line as the Falcons are in the bonus. Actually, that'll be Sam Towns taking the shot from the line. Towns 1 for 3 on free throws today. Towns sinks his first one from the line. He'll get a chance for one more. 57-51 now. Towns up to 11 points. He's the team leader in scoring, followed by Troy Glover with 9 and Javante Campbell with 8. Towns shot from the line also good, so he's up to 12 now. As BG is going to go with a full court press again with a 57-52 game now. Call multiple heel fight over the ball, and it will be called Western Michigan possession as it falls out.
It almost got stuck between Sam Towns' feet there as he tried to get the steal.
I think it did, actually. It did get stuck for a second, but once again, the Falcons are going to go with the full court press here against the Broncos. And Trey Lewis shoved Javante Campbell to the ground, and that'll be Falcons ball.
And this will send Campbell to the line for a pair of free throw. Well, for one free throw as we're in the bonus. And just a great way to score with the clock off for the Falcons to get their way back into the game.
So it doesn't actually look like it'll be a free throw. Looks like they're going to inbound it. Campbell inbounds to Troy Glover the second. Hands it off to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Glover. Swings out to Sam Towns at the top of the arc. Swing out to Ruffin. Ruffin dribbling up. Thinks about taking the mid-range. Pass up to Sam Towns. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Falcons have to figure out something quick. Towns goes up for layup off the side of the backboard. And when I mean side, I mean the actual side of the backboard. But there's a whistle call before that.
And that's going to be another foul on Lewis. And that's going to give him his third of the game.
So he had one just a couple of seconds ago, and now he's up to 3. Because that's going to send Towns to the line. Actually, Lewis will only have 2 personal fouls. Actually, they've changed it to 3 now. So a bit behind in our live stats here, but he is at 3 personal fouls. Towns' first shot from the line is good. 57-53 now. Falcons only down by 4. Brewer is going to check in for the aforementioned Lewis. Western Michigan with 21 personal fouls here today. That's 7 more than BG. Towns' second shot from the line, sinks it and in. Still 57-54. BG only down by 3, and they're going to go with the full court press once again. EJ Ryans, he gets the swing out to Sudora. Sudora hands it off to Justice Williams. So that time the Broncos find a way around that full court press. Williams through contact from Sam Towns, passes out to Brewer. Brewer driving up to the rim. Whistle called here, foul on Josiah Shackelford, and Brewer sinks it. So that'll send him to the line with a chance for one more.
And that's just something you cannot have. Playing great defense for almost the entire 30 seconds of the shot clock, and then letting them, not only get a bucket, but get an and one opportunity.
So that's going to be on Javon Ruffin. That'll be a second personal. And it'll send Brewer to the line. So 59-54 now. A chance to make it 60-54. Brewer's shot is good. So a 60-54 game now. BG down by 6. Broncos up by 6. Javante Campbell, guarded by Brewer. Gets the screen from Troy Glover the second. Campbell at the top of the arc, hands it off to Sam Towns. Towns fakes a pass, passes it back to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Troy Glover. Campbell dribbling up, goes up for the layup off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Shackelford. Shackelford fakes the shot, goes up for the layup, bounces around, no good. Try to tip back by Sam Towns, no good. Fight over the ball. Ball bounces out. Justice Williams, he has it.
And multiple second chance opportunities there for the Falcons, just unable to finish. And that's been the story of the game. Falcons not able to finish close to the rim.
Carson Viss trying to drive inside. Goes up with the shot, no good, but fouled by Troy Glover, and he'll be sent to the line. So that'll be another foul on Glover, his third personal foul, and that will take us to another media timeout. So 60-54, Western Michigan up by 6, and with 7:49 left to play. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right here on Falcon Radio.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Even when the game ends, Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage continues with a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back here to Falcon Radio. 60-54 game here with Western Michigan up by 6. Artie Brago joined by Foster Rossai. As Bowling Green has had a couple of bad personal fouls in a row. First, Javon Ruffin sent up Bronco to the free throw line, and now Carson Viss, he'll be head to the line after a foul by Troy Glover. And Foster, it feels like the Falcons just cannot simply get out of their own way right now as we head into the later minutes of this game.
Yeah, this is one of those things we've kind of seen all season long. When they're playing from behind, they start to claw their way back into games, making it a 2-3 point game, and then they'll go down on the defense and make a mistake or two, and the team they're playing, Western Michigan today, they'll just start to just extend that lead again, and not the Bowling Green Falcons have just never been able to kind of overcome those types of deficits.
They have not this season. 60-54 game. Down by 6. Still 7:49 left to play, so it's plenty of time left in this one. Bowling Green trying to just rack up all the wins they can for the MAC tournament in Rocket Arena. That'll be from March 11th to 14th. Once again, Falcon Media Sports Network will have all the broadcasts of all those games and all the coverage of the entire MAC tournament, both men's and women's tournaments. I will be there along with Foster Rossai, along with about 7 other Falcon Media Sports Network members. Is that correct?
I believe so.
A big group this semester headed to Cleveland. Carson Viss, he sinks the first one from the line. So 61-54 is the score now. Bit of a meme being shown here on at the Stroh Center video board. Not uncommon anymore. We've seen it all season. Viss sinks the second one. I couldn't talk there for a second. I don't know why. 62-54. 8-point game for Western Michigan. Sam Towns left alone at the top of the arc. He takes a 3 off the rim. No good. Just has not been able to find that shot from 3 that he had in that first opening minutes of the first half. So Western Michigan's ball once again. Campbell guarding Williams very, very closely. And switch to Ruffin. Ruffin guarding Williams, goes up for the shot. Off the rim, no good, but there's going to be a foul called here. And it looks like they're going to get it on Javon Ruffin.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to give a foul to Javon Ruffin, getting what looked to be number 10, Burton on the arm as he's going up for that shot attempt.
So that'll send Williams to the line. 2 for 2 previously on his earlier trip. Williams shot, sinks it in. So 63-54 now, getting closer to a double-digit Broncos lead. Shot by Williams from the line once again is good. So 64-54 now. The Broncos are up by 10 against Bowling Green. On the court now for Bowling Green, Meyer Wall, Javonte Campbell, Sam Towns, Javon Ruffin, and Josiah Shackelford. Campbell with the basketball. Driving up the rim, trying to play through contact. He gets the whistle as he went up for the shot.
And a very late call, almost in the hands of the Broncos before that foul is called.
So that'll send Campbell to the line once more. That'll be Michael Soluka. That's his 4th personal foul. So E.J. Ryans and Michael Soluka, I should say, both have 4 personals. Both one away from checking out. Shot from the line from Campbell is no good. So it remains 64-54.
Campbell 2 for 6 from the free throw line tonight.
Campbell's second shot is good and true. So 64-55. BG down by 9. Viss trying to find his way around the full court press. He gets it off to E.J. Ryans. Ryans looks like he was trying to stop to try to pick up a foul on Shackelford, but Shackelford avoids it. Ryans guarded by Shackelford. Meyerwall guarding Ryans now. E.J. Ryans driving up the middle, trying to go for the layup. He finds it over Meyerwall. 66-55 now. Western Michigan up by 11 points.
What a tough shot there by Ryans. Over Wall, not using the backboard, just right into the hoop.
Dante Campbell going to slow things down now. 6:37 left to play, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Sam Towns pass inside to Justin Thomas, who's guarded by Ryans. Thomas pass out to Sam Towns, who takes the three, and he sinks it in. So that one falls for Sam Towns. He gets another three to fall. 66-58. Campbell trying to get the steal. Whistle called here, and it looks like Viss stepped out of bounds. So that'll be Falcons ball.
I don't think he was out of bounds. I don't think he had completely established himself in bounds after passing that ball in, which you have to have both feet 100% set and ready to go before touching the ball in bounds, and he was not.
That's a costly mistake by Carson Viss. Makai Leach, he's checked in for the Falcons. He will inbound. 66-58. BG down by 8 points. Campbell gets the inbound. Pass to Makai Leach, guarded by Ryans. Leach battling his way inside. Shoulder checks his way up for the layup, and he gets it to fall. 66-60 is the score now. BG down by 6. A full court press once again. And Brewer did not realize where his teammates were, and he throws it out of bounds. That's another Falcons turnover as they get the ball right back.
And Bowling Green needs to continue to go at whoever E.J. Ryans is guarding. He has 4 fouls. He can't foul. He's too monumental to this Western Michigan Broncos offense. Whoever has the ball has to be looking to get it down low to right now who's Makai Leach being guarded by him.
So Campbell with 6 minutes left to play, separated by 6 points, 66-60. Makai Leach, he gets the ball on the inside, goes up for the dunk. Leach slams it down, 66-62. Bowling Green down by 4.
And this is that full court defense that we've seen Bowling Green run a lot. They've had a lot of success.
Brewer goes up for a dunk of his own, so he silences the Stroh Center crowd. 68-62. BG playing fast right now. They're getting up the court pretty quickly here. Bowling Green looks like they're going to try to push the pressure as Campbell, he's got the ball near the logo. Finds Shackelford. So we're kind of jab stepping.
They're going to get Ryans on a foul call.
And that is major. That's going to check him out of this one with his 5th personal. With 5:20 left to play, one of their best scorers tonight is going to have to check out of this one.
That is big for the Falcons. One of the leading scorers for Western Michigan tonight, 14.69 from the field and 2 for 3 from 3. Him being out really is going to put the pressure on Western Michigan to find a second scorer who can pick up the pace as William leads them with 15.
So that'll send Leach to the free throw line. Leach with 4 points now. Leach, he will shoot 2 from the line. Leach first shot, bounce off the front of the rim, but falls through. So 68-63 is the score now. BG down by 5. Leach second shot from the line, falls through. 68-64, BG only down by 4 now. They're going back to the full court press. Viss looking, finds Barnes, who finds Brewer, who finds Williams. Bowling Green have to set themselves in defense after that full court press. Campbell guarding Williams very closely here. Pass to Williams. He's guarded by Towns, who's now guarded by Leach. Williams trying to battle his way upside, goes up for the shot, no good, rebounded by Barnes. Sam Towns tries to swat the ball out, but there's a whistle called here.
There are 4 Falcons in the paint and 1 Bronco, and the 1 Bronco comes down with the offensive rebound. Todd Simon not happy about that right now.
Pretty close rebounding battle here today. A 31-30 rebounding battle. Western Michigan has the advantage with 1.
And that's going to be a foul on Campbell, his 4th of the game.
That is major. That is probably the most major development of this game. And the worst case scenario for the Falcons is that Javante Campbell picks up his 5th early, and he has to check out of this one. It'll be a nuclear scenario. And Todd Simon, he's just going to have to leave Campbell out there at this point in the game when you're down. So Barnes sinks the first one from the line. It's a 69-64 game now. Barnes, second shot from the line, falls through and in. 70-64 now. Bowling Green once again down by 6. Campbell, he gets the handoff from Leach. Campbell with the basketball, trying to drive inside, finds Towns. Towns thinks about taking the 3, decides against it. Towns hands it back off to Javante Campbell. So Towns sets the screen. Campbell looking swing pass out to Shackelford. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Shackelford with a step back 3 from the top of the arc, rolls out and rolls out of the rim. 70-64. BG down by 6, 4:22 left to play. Shackelford guarding Williams very closely. Williams trying to drive inside, finds Viss in the corner, wide open for 3. He sinks it from the right corner. 73-64. Broncos just piling on this lead now, up by 9.
And just a miscommunication on that backside. Thomas, sinking in to help with the cutting player, leaving his player wide open behind 3-point line.
Campbell passes to Shackelford, who passes it to Leach, passes it back to Campbell. Towns sets the screen. Campbell driving up inside, goes up for the layup. Oh, no good off the front of the rim, gets the zone rebound, goes up for the layup, and he gets fouled.
And Falcons taking so much time off the clock on that offense possession, trying to figure out where they're going. They don't have the time to be thinking about their plays. They got to get into these quick.
So a timeout called here. That'll be our final needed timeout, as Michael Sulanka also picked up his 5th personal foul. So he'll have to check out of this one early as well. So 73-64 is the score, 3:37 left on the clock. We'll be right back here on Falcon Radio. Actually, a change of plans. We'll stay right here as things are now winding down here with 3:37 left to play. It's a 73-64 game, a 9-point separation between both teams. Foster, what exactly needs to happen here for Bowling Green to be able to pick up the win?
Well, they got to start figuring out an offense here. Their offense is running slow. They're not really having success getting down into the paint. They're taking a lot of 3, 7 for 17, 41% from 3, which is one of their better shooting nights on the season, but their offense in the paint has been nowhere to be found. Trying to get Campbell getting down low, but he's been unable to find the rhythm. 3 for 10 in the paint, 3 for 7 from the free throw line. Someone of his magnitude, Bowling Green's got to find a way for him to get going.
It does not feel like there's been any adjustment on the offensive side. You know, Javante Campbell, he hasn't been able to get hot on the inside. It really seems like they're just still running the same play over and over and over again, hoping it works. Letting Campbell wind down the clock, letting him drive up the middle when he can't find anything, and then it doesn't work, which leads to no points, or you get fouled. And Bowling Green hasn't been successful at the line today whatsoever. I mean, they're shooting 15 for 24 from the free throw line. It's 62.5%.
Yeah, and one of the big things is when this offense slows down and they're having problems getting to the free throw line or getting down into the paint, the players within the system stop moving. We've kind of said it a couple different times now through different games. There's not a lot of secondary movement. There's a ball screen for Campbell or whoever else is the ball handler at the time, but there's not a back screen. There's not a secondary movement screen. There's 2 players standing in the corner. Maybe they'll float up a little bit towards the wings, but there's no back screens for them. They're not moving, cutting back doors. There's a lack of movement, which really allows these defenses to key in on the cutters.
So both teams are now going to check back out onto the court. 3:37 left to play in this one. 73-64 game. Separated by 9 points. Bowling Green is really going to have to rally here if they want to pick up the win. Campbell, he'll be starting this one out at the free throw line. Again, 4 personal fouls, something to watch out for moving forward in the last couple of minutes of the second half in this game. Campbell's first shot from the line falls in. 73-65 now. Separated by 8 points. Campbell's second shot from the line falls in. So 73-66, Bowling Green going back to the full court press once again. Viss looking around for somebody, finds Williams. Williams set a trap by Towns and Campbell. And a travel is called on Sherrod Barnes, and that'll be BG ball.
And this is one of those opportunities we talked about, a chance to build themselves back into the lead with turnovers by that full court press.
Campbell has joined Towns in double digits with 11. Campbell will inbound the pass to Sam Towns. Campbell, pass back to Towns. Towns is just going to take a three, and he sinks it. Sam Towns sinks the three. 73-69 game now. Bowling Green only down by 4.
We've got a couple of players down on the ground as Western Michigan gets out on a fast break.
As Makai Leach just hit the court. I'm not sure what happened there, but Western Michigan takes advantage and goes up for the coast-to-coast. 75-69 as Campbell tries to get his own underneath the rim, and he's fouled, so he'll head back to the line. So that will be Jaden Brewer's second personal foul against Campbell. Campbell will head back to the free throw line now. Campbell's first shot from the line is good. So 75-70 now with 3:04 left to play. Bowling Green down by 5. Campbell's second shot is good. 75-71. Carson Vista inbound. Again, Bowling Green with the full court press. Whistle called here.
And they're going to get Makai Leach, I believe, which is going to send Western Michigan to the free throw line.
And that's a bad foul at this point of the game. Obviously, Western Michigan was in the bonus, so that'll send them to the line after that foul.
And Barnes, an 83.3% free throw shooter, not who you want to send to the line right now.
Definitely not if you're Bowling Green. Barnes' first shot from the line is good. So 76-71 is the score now. Bowling Green down by 5, Western Michigan up by 5. .304 left to play in this one. Barnes' second shot from the free throw line is good. So Western Michigan extends their lead once again to 6, 77-71. 3 minutes left to play. Campbell with the basketball now. Towns sets the screen for Campbell. Campbell pass inside to Sam Towns as he gets the layup to go off the glass. 77-73. Bowling Green down by 4.
And that was a great find there.
Williams almost stolen away by Shackelford, but Viss gets the ball. Slowing things down near the half-court line. 2:37 left to play. Viss with a massive forearm to Leach.
And they're going to call a blocking foul on Makai Leach on that.
That is unbelievable. Leach got hit with a forearm. And they called the foul a blocking foul. I don't know, Foster, did you see enough there to maybe go against that call?
I couldn't tell. I mean, he was still moving, so his feet weren't set. But normally when that off arm comes up so high, for an offensive player, that is a charging call almost every time.
Felt like it was up near his neck, almost. So Viss will sink the first one. 78-73 game now. Show Center trying to get loud, but Viss sinks the second one. 79-73 is the score. 2:33 left to play. Bowling Green's going to have to move very fast here if they want to pick up the win. Towns sets the screen for Campbell. Campbell passes to Shackelford. Pass back to Campbell. Pass back to Shackelford. At the top of the arc, pass back to Sam Towns. Towns trying to drive up inside. Underhanded layup off the backboard. No good. Rebounded by Brewer.
The Bowling Green's got to get a stop here.
Justice Williams with the ball on the logo. Williams trying to dance around Campbell as he remains locked in. 2 minutes left to play in this one. 79-73. Western Michigan is up by 6. Looking to pick up their 10th win of the season. Williams dancing around, goes up with a wild layup. Multiple Falcons and Broncos touch it. Rebounded by Justin Thomas. Shackelford goes up for the contested layup. No good. Rebounded by Carson Viss. And he had Javante Campbell moving up the sideline with him. You got to think he should have passed that one to Campbell.
And that's one of those times where you go up, you have to use the backboard. Leaves it short, not allowing the ball to have a chance when using the backboard.
So 79, 73, 120 left to play. If Bowling Green can't get something to go here, it looks like this is going to be a Broncos victory. Brewer dancing around off the glass and in. 81-73 with 107 left to play. Shackelford thinks about taking three, drives up for the inside layup. He gets it to fall. 81-75, and a whistle's called here.
Plenty of contact, a couple Broncos hitting the floor.
Williams had to be helped up, but he looks to be okay. So Shackelford gets his 9th point of the game. So 102 left to play. Timeout called here on the court as some of the Stroh Center has begun to file out as things look more and more impossible for Bowling Green. But 102 left to play, 6-point separation. But there's a 6-point separation, but every time Bowling Green has really gotten back into it, the Broncos have just bounced right back and gone on a scoring run.
And this is not anything new for this Falcons team. Every time they've gotten back into plenty of games this season, the other team has just pulled away. They're unable in these really close clutch situations to execute at a high level.
So Bowling Green's 30-second timeout comes to an end. 102 left to play on the clock. Bowling Green is going to have to do some heavy lifting if they want to pick up the win here. Looks like they'll go back to the full court press here. Broncos are going to go in sprint formation, so find Justice Williams trying to bounce out the ball. Viss gets the ball out to Barnes.
And that's that foul you have to do at this point in the game.
Foul will be on Justin Thomas. And yes, you're right, Foster, that is the foul they have to do at this point. Broncos on the verge of a massive upset. Barnes, he will shoot 2 from the line here. Barnes' shot falls through and in. 82-75. You got to think, Foster, about one more free throw should seal this one for the Broncos.
You're absolutely right. And with that, Bowling Green is in a very tough situation now. With MAC play looming, they have to basically beat both the teams in front of them now to even have a chance at a higher seed.
83-75 is the score. Bowling Green down by 8 points. 50 minute left on the clock. Mikhail Leach gets in the corner. Bowling Green's just going to have to shoot quickly. Whistle called here. They're going to get Barnes with the foul.
And with time running down, Falcons taking way too much time off the clock. They have to have a little bit more urgency here. They can't be running these plays to get Leach down in the post.
This is one in the game when you wanted to shoot from 3, but they don't really have someone who can consistently hit those shots from 3. Or at least we haven't seen it yet this season. Leach shot from the line is good. Off, I should say. It's off the back of the rim. So it remains 83-75. Leach shot goes, that one goes in. 83-76. Western Michigan has to get the ball out, and Bowling Green's going to have to foul. They get the pass up over the half-court line, trying to steal the ball away, and a whistle's going to be called. So Bowling Green is trying to do desperately, trying to get the ball back, but Western Michigan, they're doing a good job of just finding their way around this full-court press now, finding their players to pass the ball to as they move it on up the court.
And these kind of foul games at the end of the game, really, it makes it hard for Bowling Green to come back. Obviously, Western Michigan can continue to knock down buckets at the free throw line. 25, they've taken 25 shots, 26 now, made 23 of 26. They've had just such a great line at the free throw line tonight.
Brewer sinks the shot. So 84-76 now, 8-point separation. And what a game Western Michigan has played. Just came out with a lot of intensity. They played a really fast-paced offense. And they've gotten things within or almost near an upset win for the Broncos as Campbell attempts a three. No good off that shot. So Campbell attempts his first three of the day. Cannot get it to fall. 84-76. 34.4 seconds left on the clock, and things have just about wrapped up here at the show, Foster.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And this is one of those ones where the team has to take a real hard look at themselves in the mirror after this game. Western Michigan coming in with 3 wins on the season, only 2 wins on the road, and beating you in the fashion they did. They have just controlled the game from beginning to end. And Bowling Green's going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves, especially with UMass coming up on the horizon.
UMass, who they went to overtime with earlier this season and was really just a back and forth game. So they're going to have a tough one this Saturday. Sinks the second one, so 86-76, double-digit separation between both teams now. Campbell passes Shackelford. Shackelford will take the three. No good off the rim. Rebounded by the Broncos, and that will just about do it. Broncos get it up 10. Shackelford actually gets the ball back somehow. And a whistle called here. Foul will be on Barnes. So that'll send Shackelford to the line for 2. Shackelford, he will shoot 2 from the line, and he sinks the first one. So 86-77 now. So Bowling Green has at least got this within single digits. So I guess that does something for your pride, I suppose, Foster.
There's no pride when you lose to a team that only has 3 MAC wins on the season.
That is a fair point, as that ball bounces out of bounds. So 86-77.
If we're going to have a review.
So they're going to see who it touched off last at this point in the game. With the separation and Bowling Green just being unable to do anything with relative meaning so far on offense in this later half, it just feels too little too late, depending on if they get the ball back or not. So 18.1 seconds left on the clock. Todd Simon discussing with his team. But yeah, like you mentioned, Foster, this is a game the Bowling Green should have won. They should have come in and feels like they should have dominated, and they just did not do that today. They were the favorites headed into this one by a large margin, and they fell to the 9-18, 3-11 Western Michigan Broncos.
This feels like something that everyone says you can't do. It's looking past your opponents to your next opponent. Obviously, we know UMass is coming up. They had a great game with them the last time. Javante Campbell had a 47-point game, just an all-time great game for him. And they've overlooked a team right in front of them. And we've seen them do this, a couple times this season. Central Michigan, you go to Central Michigan and lose on the road there to a team who only had 2 MAC wins at that time. You cannot be overlooking your opponents at any time in MAC play. And Bowling Green just got caught off guard today.
And at this point in the season, there's only 3 games left to play in the regular season, and like you mentioned, they overlooked their opponent, and you wonder how that exactly happened. There's only 3 games left to play. Your spot in Cleveland, seeding-wise, isn't really guaranteed yet. You could fall farther. You could end up going up against Miami, Ohio again if you could only get the 8th seed. And you really, at this point, heading into this game, you were battling for the 6th or 5th seed in the MAC.
And this close to MAC play, you have to be doing everything at the highest level to make sure that your team is ready to go. And the Falcons just come out so slow, not ready to play today. It's just one of those where you look at them and you say, this isn't the way that they have played all season. Why is this now coming out that they're playing so slow, or they're playing such a bad brand of basketball today?
So Shackelford gets a final layup to fall through. 86-79, 6.9 seconds left on the clock. Sort of just delaying the inevitable now. A little bit of discussion here by the referees as Viss will inbound for the Broncos.
Head coach Todd Simon's getting close to getting a technical foul here, almost on the R on the baseline for Bowling Green.
Screaming. You could hear him echo throughout the arena. Fish finds Barnes. Barnes trying to stay in bounds as he falls out, so 3.3 seconds left.
They're going to get a foul on Towns on that. He's just a small push.
But that'll send Barnes to the line once again, as Todd Simon's still having words with the referee. And I'm surprised, Foster, he didn't get a technical when he was yelling. I mean, you could hear him from up here, and for reference, we're not as far as we were at Miami, Ohio, but we're pretty far up here in the stands. And we could hear him.
I will never take for granted this spot in the Stroh ever again, I don't think.
We both are afraid of heights,
yes.
So I think that had something to do with it. Tyler Kavlitz, that absolute psychopath, was having a good time. We were not. But still, thank you to the Miami, Ohio
SID
for being so accommodating. I know it's been probably crazy over there since the season they've had. So thank you for fit us in for that game. As Barnes sinks the second one from the line. So 88-79, it looks like that'll be the final here today. As Campbell will just dribble it out and take a final three. Off the back of the rim, no good. So Bowling Green falls to heading to this one a 3-win MAC team. Now a 4-win MAC team are the Western Michigan Broncos. An 88-79 final as the Broncos pick up a major upset in their season. Foster, any final thoughts before we send it out to the Cooling Center crew?
That was just a bad game overall for the Falcons. They came out with no energy. Western Michigan was getting whatever they want offensively. They were finding spots that they like to take jump shots in the mid-range, and they got a lot going from there. And once that started to happen, they started hitting shots. Defensive communications on the backside for Bowling Green really cost them big time this game.
So it's a 88-79 final. Sam Towns the leading scorer with 22 points and 9 rebounds. And that'll do it here today from the Stroh Center. First, just a couple thank yous before we send it on out to Nate Hinners and the crew in the Cooling Center. First, thank you to Foster Rostai for being my color commentator today. It was fun calling the game with you. Not the result the Falcons wanted, but also make sure to check out our BG Falcon Media content currently coming out after this game. Andrew Helikowski will have a recap. Kevin Hutchinson will have a sidebar on the game. Thank you to Carter Leonard for doing social for us. I actually see him recording one of his videos right now from the top of the student section. And Jeffrey Smith will have a video recap of today's game. So that'll do it for us here from the Stroh Center. We're going to send it out to the Cooling Center for your postgame show.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Mom was always very organized, but my sister and I noticed she started to forget things.
Telling my girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard.
But Mom's early detection gave us time to make a plan.
My sister and I were there for Mom and each other.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Falcon Media Sports Network pregame show. I'm Nate Hinners, joined here in the Falcon Radio studio by Coyle Withrow, Tyler Kavlitz, Jacob Kopaz, and Dan Ridenauer. After a not great game for the Falcons, to say the least, losing to the second worst team in the MAC, the Western Michigan Broncos. Final score tonight, 88-79 from over at the Stroh Center. Not a good night for the Falcons. What happened?
You just got out-physicaled. You got out-physicaled by Western Michigan. Western Michigan came into the Stroh Center. They wanted the game more than the Falcons did. There was more effort from the Western Michigan side than there was from the Bowling Green side, and that's what happens in those type of contests. You can't really take a team like that lightly, and I'm not saying Bowling Green necessarily did, but there was just a lot more effort from the Western Michigan side And that's one of those losses. I mean, you look at it too, 65% from the free throw line. Like, you got to shoot better than that if you're Bowling Green. That's just one of those games where I think Foster mentioned it best on the broadcast, where the Falcons looked flat a lot for the first half. It felt like they were flat the whole game. I don't know what it was, but that is a loss that this team, where they were in the season, could not take. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these standings shake out. But, I mean, you could chalk that up as one of the worst losses of the season, if not the worst for Bowling Green.
I mean, I think if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. You're looking, like you said, kind of not ready for it, looking ahead to the next two games. I mean, they came in here and kind of beat us around a little bit. The only bright spot was Sam Towns, 22 points. There's not really a whole lot to take from this game outside of it's going to really, really hurt in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have pretty much said it all already. There's really not much to take away from this game. It's really one that it stings. And, I mean, looking forward to the next two. Hopefully the Falcons will build off this, realize what needs to change, hopefully come in with a little bit more physicality. But, I mean, it's just a rough loss tonight. You can't be doing that, especially against the second worst team in the MAC.
And part of that loss, too, I think just even if it was by like 2 or 3 points to Western Michigan, then it wouldn't be nearly as bad as what this was. The fact that you lost to the best team in the MAC, the number, I believe it's 20th team in the country in Miami of Ohio by 14, but you're going to lose 11 to Western Michigan is just absolutely unacceptable from my perspective. I mean, credit, though, Sam Towns, Javonte Campbell, both double digits in points. Towns with 22, Campbell's 13. Campbell breaking his own steals record is also a highlight, but also 42% from the field goal, 25 for 59, 38% from three is just, that's not going to cut it when you have to go play teams like Kent State, Akron, or Miami of Ohio.
I should mention, too, with the Javonte Campbell steals thing, that one steal puts him behind pace now to break the MAC record by Bonzi Wells. So that is another milestone that we're looking at. It's not huge in terms of this season as a team, but if you are looking at milestone trackers for Javonte Campbell, only one steal against Western Michigan does put him behind the 8 ball there and makes achieving that accomplishment a lot less likely with just 2 games remaining in the regular season and possibly a MAC tournament game. Bowling Green still has not clinched for Cleveland yet.
Yeah, all right, we'll take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll name our Falcon Media Sports Network Player of the Game later on as well. We'll get a check of what's going on around the MAC this evening and kind of how tonight's loss against Western Michigan affects how the Falcons are in the MAC tournament. We'll talk about that coming up next on Falcon Radio.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself. Surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious. Which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure, like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Falcon Media Sports Network postgame show. Tonight, again, the Falcons losing to the Broncos 88-79. But we have to name a Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game, and that player is...
It's got to be Jaden Brewer, right?
I don't know. You're the one who said it.
It's Jaden Brewer. 14 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 assists, add a steal. Shot 5 for 11 from the field. Made all but one of his shots at the free throw line. Played a team-high 35 minutes for Western Michigan. Never got in foul trouble. He did a little bit of everything for the Broncos, and he was part of the reason that Western Michigan, really the main reason Western Michigan dominated the boards against Bowling Green. They ended up winning the rebound battle 36-35. It felt bigger than that. They led the Falcons in offensive rebounds in the first half. Western Michigan beat Bowling Green in second chance points 10-6. They beat the Falcons in points in the paint 36-34. Brewer had 12 of the team's 36 rebounds, so a third of the team's rebounds came from him. He just dominated Bowling Green, and the Falcons really never found an answer for him.
Yeah, and I think you also have to give some flowers to Justice Williams. Again, 34 minutes, 17 points, 6 for 17 from the field. That's having guys that you can go out and play, the 85% of the game is huge, especially for a team like Western Michigan, who doesn't have a ton of production off the bench at all times. It's kind of the same thing with Javonte Campbell and Sam Towns, 37, 36 minutes respectively. Being able to rely on those key guys is huge, but obviously it wasn't enough production off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to agree with Tyler for the player of the game with Jaden Brewer. I mean, 14 points, 12 rebounds. It's good for a double-double. And I also mentioned in the halftime show that he was really the driving force for Western Michigan through that first half. I believe he had 6 rebounds in the first half, added another 6 in the second half. So a pretty consistent game for him. And like Tyler mentioned, he was doing a lot of everything on the court, grabbing rebounds, getting points, and never really getting into foul trouble, being able to stay on the court and really, like I said, be that driving first force for Western Michigan throughout the entire game.
Absolutely. I mean, Jaden Brewer, Justice Williams are up there in terms of player of the game, really contributed. But a guy that kind of went under the orange and brown radar that I kind of want to take a look at is Carson Viss. You look at him, 17 points in the 23 minutes he played. He went 4 for 7 from the field goal. He was 3 for 3 from the line, and then goes 6 for 8 from the charity stripe. I mean, and his 7 rebounds as well just would continue on with him, make him the player of the game for this game so far in Carson Viss.
All right, and that is our Falcon Media Sports Network player of the game. Now moving on to what's going on around the MAC this evening. Let's see. We have Kent State defeating Central Michigan. This was a close one, 83-81. Kent getting the win there.
Rob Whaley Jr. hitting a shot at the end of the game to win that one.
Another one, though, where Kent record-wise, way outranks Central Michigan, but really another close one.
Yeah, that's just Mid-American Conference basketball right there. That is a Central Michigan team that, like you said, not the greatest on paper, but that's a team that's coming out and fighting for a win. Kent State does just enough to get it, though.
And another one that was not so close. We had Akron defeat Buffalo 99-85. Miami defeated Eastern Michigan 74-64. Ball State, another close one. Ball State defeated UMass in overtime 74-73. And Toledo defeated Northern Illinois 79-69. So let's look at what's going on around the MAC. But, of course, with the MAC tournament coming up, got some implications in there, especially for the Falcons after their loss tonight.
Yeah, if you're Bowling Green, you need to win the next 2. You can't take a loss in your final 2 games. You return home to face UMass, and that it's hard to understate how big of a game that's going to be. That's the UMass team that you played to the wire in the first game, and you don't win that unless Javonte Campbell goes off for his 40-piece. And then you head on the road and go to Eastern Michigan against a team that is no pushover. Eastern Michigan is a team that can be very dangerous. They were dangerous to the Falcons earlier in the season, made it a 6-point game at the Stroh Center. So those are two tough matchups to end the season on, the way Bowling Green's playing right now. In my opinion, they have to win them both if they want good seeding. And that's a big challenge to the way the team is currently playing.
And I think that's kind of the same sentiment shared around the league as a whole. Is just win. Just go out, win basketball games, end the season strong, especially if you're not going to make the tournament.
Because that's really what getting into the tournament's all about. It's about momentum. It doesn't matter if you start the season off well. It's how are you playing going into the tournament.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of, it might be cliche to say, but it's not, you can't win the tournament in November, but you can lose it then. Especially, I mean, coming very sluggish end of the year here for BG. It's just kind of worrying almost.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully for Bowling Green tonight, you had the Buffalo loss, which gives them a little bit of a cushion, but the sentiment doesn't change. I mean, last two games, like it was stated before, just win. I mean, if you get a little bit of momentum going, push the boulder a little bit in the right direction, get this chip off your back with the 3-game losing streak now. It's that time of year. You need to get a couple wins strung together going into the MAC tournament, and then hopefully you can do some damage in that.
You got UMass and Eastern Michigan to close out the season. Just to quote Al Davis, just win, baby.
All right, and that's going to start to wrap things up for our coverage this evening. Coming up tomorrow here on Falcon Radio, it's our first baseball broadcast of the season. The Falcons heading down to UC in Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats. First pitch coming up at 3 o'clock
tomorrow. Who else
tomorrow.
would they be facing at the University of Cincinnati?
I thought I said Cincinnati for a second. Hey, you never know. The team has been playing, down south for a little bit.
They have, but make sure to tune into that. Noah Seeley and I will be on the call for that one, so that should be fun.
Yeah, again, first pitch coming up tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Pre-game probably beginning around 2:45-ish here on Falcon Radio. And then after that game wraps up, more coverage continues over on WBGU 88.1 FM as women's basketball down in Athens tomorrow night to take on the Bobcats. Tip-off for that coming up 7 o'clock, pregame around 6:35 over on WBGU 88.1 FM. Our next men's basketball broadcast comes your way on Saturday when the Falcons take on UMass. 2 o'clock tip-off for that, and of course you can listen to that right here on Falcon Radio. But for now, that's going to wrap things up for our coverage tonight. A big thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight, despite the Falcon loss. But we will see you again for more Falcon basketball coming up, or Falcon men's basketball coming up on Saturday, and of course Falcon baseball and women's basketball coming up tomorrow. Until then, have a great evening, and we'll see you guys again soon here on Falcon Radio.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.